Are you a noble?
No, I'm a warrior.
Hello,
Oh, you're a warrior.
everybody.
Hello,
We're live.
hello.
Hi.
Yeah. So
You should
here
have learned
we
how to say
are.
hello in Hjortling.
Yo.
We should have. yo. So hey,
Yo.
here we are. We're live. Some new faces, some old in the chat. I see. We're the DMs After Dark, and this is a departure from what we've usually been doing, and that is going to be a longer campaign of RuneQuest. So for those of you who don't know, we've in the past typically done shorter series of various RPGs because you wanted to always focus on like all the great games you should be playing. But over time, we found that in doing that, it's kind of a grind to learn new systems and create new characters, consistently and quickly. And also narratively and just from a gaming standpoint, it leaves you wanting more of those characters in those worlds. So about 6 months ago, I was like, hey, let's do a longer series game. And here we are, we're doing RuneQuest. And coincidentally, and serendipitously, many people might be looking for other game systems for some reason.
Completely
I don't know
coincidentally,
why.
for like no known reason.
For pro of nothing, you might want a new game system. So here you go. Here's a great fantasy system. And a little story about myself. I'm Christian. I'm old. I'm the oldest one here. I've been playing these games for a long time. And I knew RuneQuest existed, but I was always like, why do I need another fantasy game?
Fair.
Why? Right. And also I knew they had like a lot of very detailed lore, and quite frankly, I was lazy and I didn't want to learn it. And then a couple years ago, RuneQuest Chaosium did like the starter set. And I'm a huge Call of Cthulhu nerd, so I always follow Chaosium, and I was watching him like put this together. I'm like, that looks really cool. And when Amber was at Gen Con, I was like, hey, if you can get me a copy, like, please do. She couldn't, but she got me a voucher, so I guess that's almost as good.
Yep, they sold out. They were giving out codes at the end.
and so here we are. I got that and opened it and immediately fell in love and saw like what everybody always talked about it having been like one of the greatest RPGs ever made. So you're all in for a treat, I think. We're gonna
should we introduce ourselves?
I guess we probably should.
You'll watch us. You'll figure it out.
Like us, the people, or us, the characters?
The people.
Yeah, we could do that.
We are just some floaty faces right now.
At the beginning, in case you're turning in brand new.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a good idea.
That's Christian, but he's actually a lapsed Catholic. I'm sure you'll see that.
Very extremely lapsed. I'm about as lapsed as they possibly can be. I might even be a prolapsed Catholic.
Oh no! And welcome to DMs After Dark. This is the comedy you can expect from us. That's yeah.
All right, who wants to go next then? After Christian.
Should we go by age? Oh, good.
Well, yeah, I'm Amber. I am one of the original members here of the DMs After Dark. I've been playing RPGs for 15 years now. Started with D&D 3.5, back in middle school.
It might be 20.
It might be, it might even be longer than that. Like, how was it? Maybe I was 12.
It was, we were 13, 12.
13, yeah. Been playing a long time RPGs. I am a librarian by day, where I have the largest publicly accessible RPG collection in the state of Rhode Island that I built with federal money. You can get the federal government to give you money for RPGs. Everybody who's in nonprofits and libraries, go get that money. Build community gaming. And I am also a writer, and I like all things dark and horrific. And if you watch any of my one shots or anything, you will see more of that, and I'm sure you'll continue to see it through my character expressions.
Well, I'll go now, I guess. I'm Rainey. Hello, everybody. I've been playing RPGs for actually only about 10 years, I think. But yeah. But I am I'm like an addictive personality kind of person. So when I find that I like something, I dive so face first that I probably hit the bottom, and here I am. Yeah, unlike
understatement for Rainey.
I'm a nature nerd for my job. And I don't know. Unlike Amber, I'm not all about horror and scary stuff. I'm typically very.
That's why Rainey's never been in one of my games.
I'm scared. I'm scared of Amber. I did miss
all of them.
Incredible
He's scared.
and Red. And yeah, I've missed all of Amber's streams, unfortunately. But yeah, I'll be inappropriate, but I'll try my best to represent Team Wholesome, as we call it here. We have Team Wholesome and Team Chaos. So
Chaos.
Hey, you guys are one less today, okay? There's only
we don't have
two
Troy.
of you,
That's the other thing.
and
Troy will
one
have
of
next
you
week.
is the
Troy
DM.
Troy is our other player. He's out saving
It's okay.
lives right now.
Sarah can swing toward chaos. I've seen her do it.
Yeah, she can, but Sarah is firmly on Team Wholesome side.
She will swing.
I think so. I think
Yeah.
we got Sarah
Rainy
in our
can
corner.
also swing towards chaos.
I don't know
but,
that tent flap
Team
joke.
Wholesome.
God, I will never know again. I thought it was Christian. That's how firmly chaos it was.
So exciting news. So we do have in the chat Drew in Japan 93, who is Andrew Logan Montgomery, who wrote the campaign. We're going to play 6 seasons in Sartar. So we're really excited. Thanks for being here, Drew. It's really cool. And a little bit about 6 seasons in Sartar and Glantha. I'll yammer on and gush a little bit about what I love, and then we'll just start creating characters. Tonight's to me session 0. We'll introduce the characters. Next session will be actually beginning to play, which will be in 2 weeks from now, Friday. Not next Friday, but the Friday after. Great thing about Runequest and some things about the world of Glantha. By the way, if you know, you know. I have my Greg Stafford Greg Rune shirt on in honor of Greg. So
show your phone case.
Y'all know what side I'm on.
Yeah.
Crimson back.
The crimson back. That's the winning side.
That's right.
Winners choose side crimson bat.
That's right. Team Chaos, indeed. Like canonically. What?
Should we finish introducing the players before we hop in?
Do we not introduce Sarah?
Or Jess.
Introduce
or
everyone except me and
Kent.
Rainy.
We've only done 3 people. Christian's so
we'd
excited.
excited. He's excited. He wants to
I'm
dive into
excited.
this world.
Shit.
Forget things. I thought you already went.
Christian is managing like 3 or 4 different things at once. So
Yeah, I'm doing the
he's
tech.
both
and,
our
like,
DM
silently
and our
panicking that it's not going to work. So,
Yeah,
but it's working so
and
far.
stay in contact with people and
Yeah.
managing chat like along with Sarah. So okay, I guess I should go
Take it.
next. Okay. Hi, I'm Jess. I don't actually have too much to say. I probably have like the least tabletop RPG experience out of all of us here, but I've been playing, I guess, for a while now, even though I've had the least.
She keeps saying that even though she's been playing for like 7 years.
Yeah,
More.
but it's still the least.
It has DM'd
She's like,
way
I don't know
more.
anything about RPGs. Bitch plays at least 3 times a week every week for 7 years.
but the thing that she ran was like our most competent on and love thing. So
That,
yeah,
you know, I picked a good one. Like
you did.
I
You did a
I
great
picked
job.
a good one, you know. But yeah, that's me. Hi.
Hello, I am Sarah. I am the group baby, as is my
She is such a
title
wee summer child.
and my right. I have also only been playing RPGs for about 7 years now, with the exception of one summer from when I was 13 and then never again until I was 19. I don't know.
A huge 6-year gap.
There's a gap. It's fine. I also play in multiple games a week and run a game every other week of Chaos. And deal with these assholes. Assholes. Affectionate. And I'm also your local Twitch mod. So if you see stuff going on in chat under Glowing Nova, hi, that's me. Christian is running everything on DMs After Dark side, but if you have other questions in Twitch chat, I will probably be answering them. So hello.
Yeah. Okay.
Kent.
Yeah.
Ken, I'm
Yes.
bad.
The
Yep,
official
we-
bench warmer of the DMs After Dark.
He's
Kent
not a bench warmer
TM.
anymore. Leave
Kent's
him alone.
trademarked. He's our trademark. He belongs to us.
We are so excited. Kent has joined us as a guest for some of our other games, but he is here for our entire 6 seasons of Sartar. So yeah.
Mostly because I have the most free time out of everyone here.
Oh,
So
To make a sports reference that might go over a lot of people's heads or may totally land, Kent's our 6th man, even though we have 6 players, so he's our 7th man. But like in basketball, your 6th man's your man off the bench. He's your,
get out of
That's
here.
pretty much how it's going to be. There's always one of
No,
us
but that's,
absent,
like,
really.
he's not a bench warmer because he sees play. He's the in and out rotating. He's the it's
He's
a
the
good
bench
reference.
abandoner, really.
It's a good sports reference. Sorry, Ken. Continue.
But yeah, I've basically I've been playing RPGs with Amber for the past like 20 years. Mostly D&D. We've done Pathfinder, and then Amber has been taking us on adventures throughout other little things. And unfortunately for me, I am jaded to most of her horror because I am a very close friend to hers. So
It's grown numb.
it's like, oh yeah, that like the you describing the tree child. I was like, oh yeah, normal Amber stuff.
This part, typical Tuesday. Amber's done something terrible again.
It's funny because like most of the games that Amber runs, she like tests first with the home group that Kenson, and then she runs it here.
Mhm.
Figures out some things. So Ken's still pretty experienced too with what we've played on DMs After Dark.
Yeah.
Okay, Christian, now that's
Now you
everyone.
can take it away.
Troy, that's great. Troy will join us soon, and you'll all be subject to him.
You don't even need an introduction, Troy. You'll understand him when you see him.
Yeah, you'll know right away. Just a crazy ginger.
You can't describe Troy. That's the thing.
You know what's funny
She's
is
like
if-
water.
Troy's surprise block.
Gee.
it's surprise gun. Yeah, if we're talking gingers in the group, I'm wholesome ginger. Troy's chaos ginger.
Chaos Ginger.
So, let's talk about 6 seasons of Sartar and Runequest. And if you don't, some of you know this because you literally write for the stuff. Others don't. So I'm going to cover the stuff with people who don't. And if I'm wrong, like feel free to yell at me in chat and correct me because I'm open to that.
Primer.
You can
Yeah.
yell at him anyway. It's fine.
I deserve it, so you should yell at me anyway. But things about RuneQuest that make it very different from other typical fantasy RPGs. The biggest one is that it's a Bronze Age fantasy world, and it's all myth. Right, it's all based on myth. It has a lot more in common with things like the Odyssey or the Ramayana or things like that than it does with our typical expected like Tolkien-esque fantasy. And because of that, in the world of Glorantha, your myths are real. So the sun rises and sets because the god Yum of the sun was killed. He went to the west and died and went to the underworld. It takes him all night to come on and come up in the east again, and he repeats that cycle, that myth, every single day. Water runs downhill into the ocean because there was a huge war with chaos, and the cosmic spike, the huge mountain that held the whole world together, was blown up in that, created a hole in the universe. Everything was getting sucked out, and the water gods were like, let's plug that hole. They drew all the water back to themselves, and there's a big whirlpool in the middle of the world that's like keeping the world together. All that stuff is real. You don't get sick because you caught a cold. You got sick because disease spirits like got into you and attacked you. All that stuff is true and real. So that's the most, I think, important thing. And the other thing is that you make a character, and you're going to see that as we make these characters right now. You don't just create some like wandering asshole who kicks their way into a dungeon and steals stuff from people and generally acts like an antisocial psychopath.
A wandering asshole.
You can still be an antisocial psychopath, but you have ties to like a community and a cult, and you have a family and a clan and all these great things that attach you to the world. Complete histories of like your family is generated, as you're going to see in a minute, in character creation, and that's what 6 Seasons in Sartar is about. Really, it's a good campaign. Andrew did a great job in writing it because it introduces you very well to the world. It was one of the second or third things I bought for RuneQuest, and it was a thing that when I read it, I was like, oh, I totally get what you can do with this game. I got in the headspace of the game instantaneously with what he wrote. I think if you're going to run a game right, you have to get into its headspace and just understand it. So Andrew, like, great job, because that puts you right where you need to be when you read that story. But it's about community. And the community in particular is a group of people called the Harrowborn clan who live up in the mountains. And we'll learn a little bit more about them as we go. But for right now, we're going to start with this like beautiful book and learn about how to create a character. And I know we have some great ideas, so let's just like flip forward and see what we're going. Because I know everybody's family's like died so far. We've done some of the family history stuff, but do we want to talk about that? Do you want to just go around and talk about how far we've gone? And
Do we want to? I mean, the other alternative is literally going step by step through the procedure, and anybody who's got that done can kind of do it while everyone else is doing it.
I think that would be best because I know
do
there's some folks that have already like gone through everything and have like all of their family and their stats and their
Yeah, I'm
skills.
pretty close to done. Me and Kent, I think.
Yep.
And then there's
some
some
Again,
levels
free
that
time.
haven't.
And some
there's-
people, Jess, are like changing, like talking about like new cults, like right before we hit the live button.
Jess is starting a cult.
I'd join Jess's cult.
I'd join Jess's cult.
Two, actually. I would
Don't,
too.
don't,
God.
no, don't.
guys-
I've never seen a larger group of losers in my life.
Super quick and unrelated to Runequest before we get into it. I'm doing a solo series right now of Colossal, and one of my story prompts is that we rolled up a thing about cults, and I was like, but a good cult. And then all I could think about was Jess always going, I was in a cult once. And I always think of her saying it was like a red dragon mug on her desk. It wasn't, but like it was like anyway, sorry.
You're talking about her fictitious cult that she
Her
was in, and then there's her real
my
cult
real
that she
cult,
was
and
in.
there's my fictitious cult.
Too many cults. Just you
Yeah.
get
Yeah, I love how the two people who have known me the longest are like, "No, you don't want to
No.
be a Jess's cult," but everyone else.
I was also,
feed
also, yeah, don't feed her. Like, she's very liable to actually
Don't
start a
encourage
cult. She
her.
loves cults.
Jess is
I
liable to
start a
try to
cult.
start a cult, but it's just
No.
her and one weirdo.
No.
She's somehow because
That one
nobody
dude
else will
she
fall
picked up
for
on the
it.
side of the road.
No,
Yes, I'll
Yeah,
be that
some
weirdo. I'll
hitchhiker
be
she's
that
picked
weirdo.
up with no choice but to
Aw,
listen
Rainy,
because they don't
thank
want to
you.
get out in the rain.
I don't think I could actually start a cult, though. I don't have like a
Correct. you
personality
could
to
not.
hold a cult, but
yeah, a cult of personality, if you will.
yeah, exactly.
We'll get to
exactly.
cults later. Let's
I
start
would
with
love
step
it.
one,
So
Homeland.
step one,
Segue.
easy. Everybody in here is a member, or belongs in the homeland of Sartar, which is a nation that was created by a guy named Sartar, who was actually not a warrior, believe it or not. He was more of like a wizard and a trader who kind of brought people together. He was a communicator. He wasn't a fighter, and he managed to bring together a lot of very warlike people, the Olanthe clans, and forge them into like a nation. So this is a nation of Sartar. They're all a part of that. They're part of the Kalyamar tribe, and the clan is Haraborn. And
Hey, can you spell the name of the
I
tribe?
can't smell anything because you're
Also, can you spell Kalyamar?
Colymar, I think. Kalimar?
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Do
You're
they
welcome.
spell?
Probably.
Check it.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, it depends.
Probably smelly.
Depends on the season and things like that.
A little Bronze Age
Colymar.
musk.
Colymar, Kalimar. Drew, help us out.
Thank you.
And
Yeah, I love
Sartar-
having creators in our chats when we
so
stream because
much.
we'll randomly be like, I don't know how to do this. Yo, what do we
No fun.
roll?
Yep.
And then they let us know.
Please, you are lifeline.
Yeah.
Step one,
you.
easy. Homeland. We are Sartarites of
Sartar. Yeah.
Kalamar clan. And
Tribe.
no,
Kalamar
Kalimar
tribe.
Haraborn.
Haraborn clan.
Okay. Step two, this is where we're getting into that fun
To family
Ola-
history. Yeah, and that's
family
where a lot of this stuff comes up. Like Sartar currently is occupied by the Lunar Empire, who
Yes.
I'm kind of a fan of, actually. They're a big empire.
Christian over here simping for the Crimson
I'm
Bat.
simping for the Red Goddess, man. They have the Red Moon Goddess who was born in time and like raised herself
She's
up
kind
to
of a
become a goddess.
badass.
She's pretty much a total badass, and they kicked the living crap out of the Sartarites and took over their country. They are the bad guys. Depending
Christian
on your
getting
point of
booed
view.
in chat by Andrew over
I'm
here.
used to that. That does not affect me at all. But they're currently
Lunar
occupied. And
trash.
there's ongoing rebellions against them. So they're occupied, and I think that was a big part, as a matter of fact, of the people who did roll histories.
Yes.
Because we start when we're rolling histories. If we get on page 29 of the rule book, year 1561. That's when your grandparents were born.
Now,
and then it goes
real
through
quick,
there. Mhm.
how important it is there's an entire page of the character sheet that is for your family history. Like, this game is very, like, I love how they make you flesh out this much. You know, we always talk about making your characters and fleshing them out enough to feel alive. Like, you're really setting yourself up to care about something, I feel like, in this game, you know. Sorry.
And be
Christian.
like well connected to the world already.
That's a great
from,
point. Like,
creation.
anything, because if you think about other role play games, right, a lot of times you roll stats and you start with a bunch of numbers,
Right.
and you pick something, a class or a role or a profession or whatever for the character. And then it's like, I've done all that. And the rule book's like, usually a lot of times it's like, okay, cool, there's your character. And there's no guidance, or maybe there's like a little guidance, a page or two of like, now everybody talk and make up how your character is connected to the world. Work with your DM. Right. And if you've never done that, if you've never played games before, these sorts of games before, you're like, well, how do I do that? You know, you might not know. So this starts with what's important, which is your family's history, and it begins with how you fit into the world, and it ends with the stats and all that stuff. And that just shows you how important that stuff is for the game, which is something I love. But yeah, I know some of you rolled, some of you didn't, some of you just made decisions. So anyone who wants to go, if you're far enough along, shout out what happened to your character. If you want to roll live, cool, let's do that too.
Oh, Rainey raised his hand. He goes first.
I mean, I can go as far as I have up to me done.
16, 19
again,
is where we're stopping. That's the year we stopped.
Yes, I stopped well before that, but
Mhm.
you'll hear why. Yeah, I actually loved it. Like you said, like a lot of times you roll stats and then it's like, okay, like fill out your character stuff. I love how this is almost like a game in and of itself that, like you said, does a really good job of putting you into the world. You know what I mean? Like, so anyway, 1582 is the first year event that you'd roll on. In 1582, my favorite grandparent, my grandmother, who was an assistant shaman, died in great glory defending the king and queen. She's famous, so that helps me, which is cool. So she died. My parents were then born.
Same year, I think, right?
Same year, yeah. So
yeah. Wow, that was crappy. Yeah,
not lucky. And then 20 years later, just because I rolled for my grandfather as well, he was 41 or whatever, and he fought and died in Boldholm. Then my parents, nothing happened with my parents until my father fought in Starbrow? Is that how you say it? Starbrow's rebellion, and was killed by lunar magic. So I hate the Lunar Empire. Shady lunar magic stuff going on. And then a few years later, so 4 years ago in game time, my mother died. And Christian, I actually looked it up. I did my family history wrong the first time. My mother was just killed by a random monster. So yes, I was taken in by my uncle and have been making my way through the world ever since. And that's my story.
very cool.
We'll get more into the craziness of my character later, but
yeah.
Everyone in my family said except for my uncle, who cares about me enough.
You're like that children's book with the dinosaur, like everybody, and then everybody dies. Yeah, all my friends are dead.
All my friends are dead.
All my friends are dead. Yeah.
The children's
All my
book.
friends are dead. She
I was
knows
gonna say
children's book.
I was gonna say these are all my friends. Like in the stream here, we'll see how much they like me. I don't think my character's very likable at all.
We're gonna put up with you.
Edgelord Prime over here.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how
No.
likable my character is
For you.
either. It's okay.
Yeah, it's so off brand for me. Like I never play, as we would say with Christian, I never play this flavor of asshole. So
I know you've got some good stuff.
Yeah, I've got my character basically completed because again, I have the most free time of anyone. So I did roll 1582. My grandmother as well. She was actually a Paraxian, came married into Dragon Pass to one of the lower cattlemen, cotters.
No, cotters are the cattlemen. Cotters are the sheep guys.
Sheepmen, yes, the sheepmen. Yeah. She fought at Grizzly Peak because I kind of rolled my history before I determined she was going to be Paraxian. I kind of just went along with it that she's a Ceratite and like she's been living in the Dragon Pass for a few years, so I feel like she kind of feels like she's also a Ceratite.
Sartarite?
Yes, Sartarite. Sorry.
That's okay.
And
It's like a nice
from Grizzly Peak, she went to the Battle of Aldachur and survived that. The next most important thing is 1602. She actually died with great glory in Boldholm.
Great glory.
So that helps me out a little bit. Gave me hate of the Lunar Empire because they killed her with that. And then like the next important thing, like I didn't roll for my grandfather. He was just a farmer, so he just farmed. For my parent, my mother, who was my favorite favored parent. She fought in Starbrow's rebellion, and she was actually outlawed for a year by the Lunar Empire because of that battle. Then nothing until she fought again after she came back, and she fought in the Hendricken campaign and survived that. So I have living parents.
Whoa!
You rolled really well on these, because like I just kept rolling and going and dead.
Yeah, I know.
And
like,
dead.
So,
and
so
dead again.
The other thing was I followed the thing with the family history that if they were if like your homeland wasn't part of that year, if it wasn't noted in that year, I didn't roll for it. But it does say that in the book that you can roll for it if you want, because history affects everyone, which was really cool.
Kent, I just want you to know that
Yeah,
Andrew
what a chat line.
Andrew just said regarding your living parents, I'm sure Christian will change that, winky face.
He already threatened to. So
Wow.
Yeah. We have a group chat, and Kent was like, Kent bragged that he had living parents, and I was like, for now.
Yep. I was saying, because I thought at first that my I was away from my character, and he was saying that we stopped at 1619, and I was like, oh, that means my mother is alive, because I thought she died in the year, like what was it, 1621, literally the last one, literally the last year. And then I was like, oh wait, she's alive, great. And he was like, for now. I was like, oh boy.
Also, Troy's in chat, so everyone, hi Troy.
Yo.
For everyone asking who, because we actually had someone ask where Troy was, there he is. He's right there.
But I had also given Christian a lot of ammo, as I have also living brothers and sisters, a lot of them, 5 to be exact.
Are they all younger?
For now, they are all younger. I am the oldest. Yes.
I'm also the oldest sibling. Hey. I'll talk. So, because I did a slightly different variant on family history. There is an option where if you either can't go through the whole thing or don't want to for some reason, you can just use a little base thing that gives you your base passions, and gives you a little bit of flexibility with what to do with the other ones. Because I had a vague concept of what I wanted my family history to be that didn't fit in with all the rolling stuff, so I just decided to use the alternate method to putz with it and also showcase it. So vaguely, everything I have is because I don't, Christian, remind me exactly, because it was both my parents died, but it's because my parents were going on.
So you have, like, Sarah has a very good idea about her character already. She wants to do a Shalana Arroy healer, and because Sarah always plays healers everywhere, and Shalana Arroy is the healing goddess of Glorantha, and she's really kind of cool, because when you decide to follow her, you make some pretty heavy vows. You become a vegetarian. You take a vow of non-aggression, and you also vow to heal anyone who needs it. So there's a lot of like religious stuff and cultural stuff that goes along with it. Yeah, very cool stuff. So we decided her whole family, she's just a long line of healers, and part of that was that a disease, we just figured, okay, this is the background you want. A disease affected the community at some point in time. Her parents, both healers, went on what's called a hero quest as part of Glorantha, where you basically go into the mythic realms and try to magically change something. They went into a mythic realm. They managed to defeat the disease, but in doing so, they wound up with a curse from the goddess Malia, who's the goddess of disease, on them, and it's an ancestral curse. They basically like wasted away and died, and now it's something that gets passed down in the family.
So as the oldest of their 5 daughters, my character is the one that now bears that disease curse.
She bears the curse.
So,
oh no.
My living relatives include my grandmother, who was a very well-known healer of Shalana Roy, my 4 younger sisters, and my aunt, who is occasionally around to help take care of all the littles. Because, when the oldest is 16 and there's 4 younger, you need help.
You do.
But I did have a question about figuring all this out.
Yep.
So it came with the default basic 3 passions of love for your family, loyalty for your clan, and loyalty for your tribe. And then it said I could pick 3 other passions at 60 and then do some maths to add on to other things. What do I need to look at for passions? Because I couldn't figure that out exactly.
So passions could be I think I'm gonna look at the chapter. Hold on a minute. There's
Okay,
a
yeah,
whole
and if you have a
chapter on that
page,
stuff.
let me
Yeah.
know, because
Passions and reputations, page 233.
233.
So if you look up that stuff in there, I'm just going to flip there right now and read the book. And when it gets into passions,
okay.
yeah, there's all sorts of stuff. Devotion, fear, hate is obviously devotion, deity. Now, if something you kind of know the way you're going already, your whole family has been healers of this family. Of this one goddess, it's entirely reasonable for you to already have a devotion to her, like right off the bat.
Yeah. But it's just she has.
Yep. Also, love. I mean, you can love your fellow man. You could love someone else. You can, pick it, choose it. Okay. Honor is one too. Honor doesn't really fit too good, I don't think, for Shalana or
Honor
here.
doesn't make sense.
It might be better for your character's idea, Rainey.
My honor is high.
Yeah, I figured it was already. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I'll add on a couple of those as more people talk about their histories, but.
So.
And if I'm reading this correctly, these are like these are the most common ones, and there could be others.
You absolutely you can also like feel free to talk to me and we'll come up with something. If you come up with something unique, again, one of the beauties of Runequest, it's a percentile dice system. It's very easy to just create new things for it. You can just be like, I want to have a passion for, I don't know, potatoes, and you can just put like passion
passion
potatoes,
for
right?
cheese.
Cheese.
Don't we all?
Cheese, right?
Don't we all?
Don't we all?
Just don't make it passion.
Troy actually has passion Laphroaig.
No.
Yep.
No.
Laphroaig. Yes, he does. Passion Laphroaig, 60% is on Troy's actual character sheet. But
wait, what?
Laphroaig, the Scotch.
One we talked about.
I know that, but are you saying okay? That's not actually on a
passion alcohol.
Troy
Troy the
sheet.
person.
Troy's character. Troy's the person.
Okay,
yeah.
The meta sheet that we all have.
The meta sheet that we all have. Yes.
I love how you said this, and I did not doubt at all. I'm like, okay,
Yep, I was like, must be a mount or something. Yep.
Passion cupcakes.
Yeah. So Drew in Japan, Sarah just says, favorite passions for Shalana Arroy. Love is her. She's the goddess, not the goddess of love, but she loves her fellow people. So it could be a person she loves. It could be her family. It could be her community. It could be anyway. Thank you, Roan Empire, for the subscription.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah. So, think about that. Get back to me. And if you come up with something different, that works too.
Will do.
That's 3 of us.
Yeah, I can go next. Mine is pretty plain. So my favorite grandparent is my grandmother. She was like this epic warrior who fought.
We all love our grandmas.
Yeah.
Mine's grandma too. We're gonna do a one shot, the grandma club, but way more badass.
All of our sick grandmas.
Yeah. She also survived. She was like this epic warrior at Grizzly Peak, also survived there. That's where she met my grandfather, who is a herder who should not have been there, but he died there. Had twins, which would be my aunt and my father. They all became involved in the rebellion uprising, and my parents were killed in the rebellion uprising by lunar magic. I also have a hatred for the lunar empire that is super high.
You all just don't understand it yet. You'll come to love it.
I actually don't. So I'll come to learn more eventually.
I don't have a hatred for the lunar empire somehow, miraculously.
I don't either. Yeah.
Just me and Rainey. We'll bond over our hatred together. Oh, and
Kent
Kent
too.
Yeah. Okay, so half of us.
They killed my grandmother and banished my mother for a year. So.
Yep. They killed my dad with their lunar magic.
So who I have surviving is my grandmother, who is an epic warrior. She fought in multiple battles, and my aunt, who is part of the rebellion and is still kind of out there being abandoned, being a rebellion somewhere out in the woods somewhere. She comes back and visits once in a while. But now we live on a herding farm, and we just, do
herd cattle, right?
Herd cattle, maybe some sheep,
Yeah, my mother was a herder,
Ghost.
and that's how she got killed by a monster, where she was out herding.
Oh, so maybe our family took over yours.
Oh, yeah, that could work. And that could be a reason that we're either friends or,
Frenemies.
frenemies.
Enemies.
Yeah.
I would say that if we both hate the Lunar Empire and you took over my family's herd, I would like you. You know what I mean? Like, thank
Aw,
you.
nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
All
There we
right.
go. We got a little relationship there.
Yeah,
We got
already built.
all right.
And last but not least,
Amber.
My family history is a little complicated, sort of. It all starts with my favorite grandparent, who is my grandma on my mom's side, maternal grandmother. Her name is Revna. She's a total badass. She fought and survived at the Battle of Grizzly Peak. Witnessed the thing. That's what I wrote down for short. There's a bunch of words, and I was like, I have no context for these words of this event, but she witnessed the thing in that chart.
I think it was the aldature.
Yeah, that. I was like,
witness
the thing. That's what I could fit on the
Witness.
Gotcha,
I think it
gotcha.
was the crowning of the prince
Yeah,
in
crowning
aldature.
Oh yeah, see, Prince Tesserin was claimed, or Tarkalos on Tesserin acclaimed as Prince of Aldacher. Yep. Okay.
Yep. Then she had my mom and a few of my mom's siblings had a normal year and survived 1602. I wrote down survived. I think there was an event there that I didn't write down.
Boldholm.
Boldholm, that's what it was. Yep, Boldholm. She survived Boldholm.
I wrote down very little events on mine as well. I just wrote down like survived, normal year, killed.
Oh no. And then in 1603/4, the year of my birth, she was killed by Telmori. That is complicated because I am half Telmori. Telmori dad is a famous traitor. He converted to the Lunar Empire, betrayed my mom, was instrumental in the capture and death of my grandmother, and has left me in a very awkward situation here. My mom, so my parents are not married, needless to say. She got pregnant, and then dad did a big betray, so dad is no longer in our lives. And my mom is still alive. That is the thing that has happened here. My mom fought in the first invasion of Prax, survived many Praxian ambushes. She does not like the Praxians, and therefore I do not like the Praxians. Kent.
I'm only second generation, okay?
Oh, okay.
I'm also part Praxian, also like second or third generation.
You're watered down. It's fine.
Watered down. Diet Praxian.
Only one of us. Only one of us
Diet
actually
Praxian.
rides something still.
That's true.
Year 1610 was a normal year. Then my mom fought in the Starbrows Rebellion. 1615, 1616, and 1618 were normal years. I had a parent in my life. It was great. 1619, she fought in the Hendriking campaign and is still alive right now. And that is where we kind of start-ish, I guess.
Hey.
But both of my mother and her mother, my maternal grandmother, are priestesses of Ronalda. And they're both kind of patriots of Sartar. They have fought in many battles against the Lunars and whatnot, and resisted all of that conquest and everything. And my life is complicated as a result, being half a Telmori and an inheritor of the curse.
That's interesting because, as we'll come to find out, the people of the Harrowborn clan who worship as part of their religious traditions have a very special relationship with a very powerful spirit in their land, which is the Great Stag, the Black Stag. And the Black Stag is enemies with the Seven-Tailed Wolf, and there have been continual battles with Telmori who live in the mountains, so they don't really like those wolf people.
It was a star-crossed romance between my parents before the dad did the betray.
Yeah, and now they're really like, fuck those guys. And the thing that we've decided too is that, all the characters start out, they're young, they haven't been initiated into adulthood yet. With Telmori, the werewolf people, that's not something you choose to do. That's just something that happens. You are born marked.
It chooses you.
It's just a matter of time, and everyone's kind of just looking at Rue and waiting. So that's just an awful position. Yeah.
I was gonna say, I know that we're gonna have a ceremony for our coming of age or something. Like, we're gonna have a big coming of age. Like for Telmori, I didn't read into them because I wasn't pursuing that kind of life path.
So there's different, so you see a couple different things. So one is that we're going to start with you coming of age as adults,
Right,
so that's
but
just
I
like an initiation, be welcome to the clan. Then when you join your cult, you join the cult, you learn a little bit, and then eventually they're like, okay, you're cool. We're going to initiate you into the cult. We don't think you're going to like throw up all over our shoes or anything, and you're going to be a good representative of the cult. Then you go through an initiation there. That's a magical affair. So for most of you, yes, that is a choice.
Yeah.
For Rue, it's not. It just happens
Right.
at some point.
Yeah, I was going to say, I imagine
have a very long history,
whenever,
and at some point it just pops off. Yeah.
Everybody's been looking at me like I'm a bomb my whole life.
Right. Yeah. Oh, so that's everybody's history. So then I think the next step 3, once we've chosen homeland, figured out family history, so we've got to the point where our characters are alive. Now we get to an important part of RuneQuest, rune affinities. And again, the runes in RuneQuest are the building blocks of reality. So everything, like for example, all the plants in the world have the plant rune because they're made out of plants. It's the DNA of the world of these magical runes. And there are elemental runes, and there are what are called form runes. And you choose each of them for your characters. The elemental ones are the most important ones. And you have a bunch of different ones. There's 5 of them.
6, technically, right?
There's
6 of them because of moon. That's right. So you have darkness, water, earth, fire, air, and moon.
Yeah.
Everybody, because you're Sartarite and you're in Haraborn, of this, you pick 3 initial runes for your biggest 3. You have to pick air, earth, or darkness as a Haraborn, as one of those 3. It doesn't have to be your biggest one. It has to be one of those 3. And then the other 2 you have some flexibility on.
Oh.
What's your question?
I picked those 3. I thought I had to pick all 3 of those.
No, you can if you want to, and it still fits. But you just have to pick one of those 3 as your big 3, because you pick one at 60, one at 40, and one at 20%.
Yes.
But you just have to pick. You can say like, I want to do fire and moon, and then like for instance, Troy's character has like moon as his highest one, and then darkness, and then something else. But he has the darkness, so he still fulfilled that requirement.
Okay.
The vast majority of Sartarite men are going to have air as their dominant rune because of the worship of Orlanth. The vast majority of Sartarite women are going to have Ronalda because of their worship of the Earth Goddess Ronalda, but it doesn't have to be that way.
I actually think I'm going to leave mine, but I didn't realize that I could have. Because when I read Earth and Fire, those were Fire Sky were vying for my lowest one.
Yep.
But I think I'm going to leave it anyway. So.
Okay. So would you want to just go with what you have then? What you started with? Yeah.
Yeah, I could tell you mine.
We'll just keep going around the way we did. Hitting
sure.
My mic. Yeah.
I took my highest affinity elemental rune is darkness.
Ooh, you're ambitious. You're hungry. Give me more. Give me more.
Well, I'm also exactly. My character hasn't had anybody for a while. And they are a monstrous human being, as you will find out. They are a big boy, and they are they just want to prove themselves. Like they really just want to. Everyone around them died in some form of conflict or war, so all my character cares about is never doing that and being the victor for once. He's lost enough people to war. He's ready to win a war, like literally single-handedly, because he's an idiot. But so I took darkness because it's about hungry, secretive, large adventurers. I was like, yep, that's pretty much me right there. Second, I took air. A ladybug just flew into my face. I don't know if anybody saw that.
It's a sign. It's a sign.
Second, I took air, and then third, I took earth.
Nice.
Yep. And then, do you want me to talk about my form power runes or not yet?
So those elemental runes can be considered like the fundamental makeup of a character's character. The next ones are the form runes, and those are like 50-50 or more depending on how you do it. But there is 5 sets of them, I think.
Yes.
And you have harmony, disorder, stasis, movement, truth, illusion, fertility, death, man, and beast. You pick when you start. You pick 2 at 75. 25, and the rest are all 50-50. Those can change frequently during play, but the idea is that they always total 100%.
Now, I didn't mention that like my darkness, air, and earth, instead of being 60-40-20, eventually I got them to 70-60-30.
You add the additional points in. Yeah, we'll get to that. So let's start at what did you do for those? And then because you took 2, right? and at 75-25.
And I actually changed a few of the other ones too. I have nothing at 50-50.
Wow. Okay.
Oh no, I do. I have one at 50-50. I have stasis movement at 50-50.
You are a person of extremes.
Yes.
Mhm.
I have death at 75, fertility at 25.
Yep, makes sense.
I have truth at 75 over illusion at 25.
Perfect for the path you want to go on.
Yes, I have disorder at 60, harmony at 40. And then I have beast at 60, man at 40. I'm like, are you getting an image of my character? I am a
angry person.
Angry little, well, I would say little, but only in age. I am an angry big
person.
Angry big person.
What are they feeding the children in this village, by the way? We have a bunch of like 15, 16-year-olds who are like 6'4" and shit.
The surprise is now that we've rolled stats, it's actually not going to be a fantasy campaign. We're just going to have a basketball team with the characters.
What is happening? What are they feeding these kids, and why isn't Jess getting any?
I was just gonna say, some of us are normal, all right?
I'm average.
Anyway, is that all I got to do for runes? And then I'll.
So that's Did you update when you had the runes? You have some updates there. Did you update them, or did you keep them? How did you do that?
Yes, darkness is at 70, air's at 60, earth's at 30.
Oh.
Yeah.
And the way that additional point Shishkabibble works to allow us to make it more flexible is once you get your 60, 40, 20 on your elemental runes and then pick your two 75, 25s on your rune affinities, you have, as Sartarites, we all get plus 10 to air, just naturally.
Correct.
And then we have 50 points with which to do Quumstever. So that's where our other math is coming from.
Correct. Thanks, Sarah. You can go next now since you know so much about this.
Okay, it's because I did this only a couple hours ago.
I'm like the dick teacher. I'm like, yeah, that's great. You know something cool.
Why don't you tell the class?
Right.
You know, it's funny. In actual school, this would have been my fucking nightmare. But
Don't
I put
call
myself
on
here
me.
willingly. So, yeah, no, there were some people in my classes that like never heard me talk. It's great. Fun facts. So after all of my additional maths and shishkabibbles, I ended up with Earth at 70, Moon at 50, Darkness at 25, and Air at 15.
Nice.
I am 50-50 on both Man and Beast and Truth and Illusion. And then I have Stasis at 60, Movement at 40, Harmony at 85, Disorder at 15, and Fertility at 75, Death at 25.
Perfect. That's perfect for what you want to do too. So that's
They're
really
very
cool.
opposite.
I know, that's why I was laughing during yours. I was just like, we are playing the opposite characters here.
Could be a good, could be a good thing. Could be, you know.
They're either gonna end up in like perfect sync or fucking hate each other. There's no in between.
Rainey's character is thinking of becoming a follower of Humak, the god of death and swords and killing. And there's like a strange like symbiotic relationship between those two.
We've been watching Shalana Roy.
Because A, like warriors and armies need healers, so there's that. But B, also there's like because they're opposites, he also like needs a friend to talk to. And as a goddess, canonically, she's like the person that everybody goes and talks to because she's just like a really good listener.
Therapy goddess!
She's a therapy goddess. So there you go. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I will say this. I'm not planning on making enemies of the party by any means, but I do want to stay true to my character as being a
Get over here, you little edgelord.
Like, well, no, I mean, like
Anyway.
it's not even that, like, because I don't want to play like that typical D&D edgelord. I just really want to hammer home that my character is going to be incredibly ambitious and like not reckless, but like eager to prove himself. Like, and that's going to get
pursuing greatness.
So it's more that side of things, but
it's very appropriate for like an epic, like mythological epics.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Very often have those characters who, you know, overreach and fuck up, and we love them for it.
Yeah.
Ryan Jess is pursuing gains.
Gains.
With a Z.
Z.
Gains.
Gains. Like Liver
You
King,
fucking
right?
6'4" monster.
All natty.
Mother
Yeah.
breastfed
All
you
natty.
sarms.
I'm the liver king of
She's the liver king of RuneQuest, but it's
the
all natural.
Harrowborn liver king.
What the fuck is this?
Kent, what do you got?
Huge
So-
guy. Another huge guy.
Yep.
So
Big boys, let's go.
another huge guy I am. I actually rolled really well. Like Amber, I rolled like David.
Hot damn. I rolled
Yeah.
like 3s and 4s. My average was like a 7, and then I saw the sidebar, and I was like, I'm gonna
Yup.
use those rolls.
Yeah,
Told you that too. Like, don't have something that sucks.
Yeah,
Have
I was
something
like,
you
this
can
is
Yeah.
really bad.
yeah. Like I did do that too. Like I was like average. I was just
I'm like, I don't want
and then
to
I saw
die
the
for no
sidebar.
reason.
And then like my first 2 sets I rolled were like average or lower, and
I had
the
a
third
4.
set, damn, my third set was like my lowest is a 13. My highest I rolled was an 18 for my size.
Oh
Yeah.
my god, how
Same
fucking
here,
big
dude.
are you?
Dude, let's go.
I'm same with Rainy. I'm
6'6".
6'6".
Yeah.
We're like 6'5", 6'6", 220
Yeah.
to 250. We're
Yep.
monsters for
Yep.
16-year-olds. Like,
Yep.
we're the Bash Brothers. That's what we are. We're the Bash Brothers.
That's why Jess is so small. You clearly took all of her food during an important developmental period.
So I will also say, like, in my history, in my thing, like I forgot to mention, like my grandmother started out in the cotters, the sheepmen, and my mother, who is my grandmother's daughter, married into a stead. So she married into one of the Carl houses. So I probably was fed really well. But
A well-balanced diet.
Yeah, I don't know why my guy got so big.
Huge kids start with breakfast.
Just anger. It's just like wills
Just
himself
anger.
to be huge.
Yeah, I fed
And he's
on
like, I will grow to the size of my anger, and he's still growing.
Yeah.
But for my runes, I chose air, earth, and fire as my in order for that. And I ended up, after adjusting those, I ended up with 80, 60, and 30, respectively. For my rune affinities, I really only chose 2 of those. I did harmony and disorder. My harmony is at 75, disorder is at 25. And I chose man and beast. My beast I actually adjusted down to 65, and my man is at 35.
Okay.
Because like after it making him, like earlier today, I was thinking about like my character and like what type of personality they would be, and I realized I made another like protector character that I always end up falling into.
Oh, and right after Sandor too.
Yes, I know. Like
Yep.
this time, like I'm the big brother. I protect my younger siblings, the children of the stead, along with me, because like I am just such a huge dude.
It's like harvest season, and you're like picks up small child to reach apple at the top of tree.
we all have our character tropes, and we acknowledge them in this game.
Yeah,
But
like,
I'm way off.
I mostly.
I'm also a little off too. Don't.
Yeah. I had no intention.
Thank you, anonymous gifter, for the subs.
Somebody gave me one, and I totally deserve it. Thank you.
Yeah, I completely, like I said, it was today that I realized, like, oh man, I just made another protector character. I did not even mean to, like, thinking about all my stuff, that it just like fell into line.
Because it's a game about community, and like you protect your community, and also you want to be a hunter, and that's also something that a hunter contributes.
Come back
to
and
community.
provide.
And like,
right. So yeah.
I do occasionally, or more than often than not, forget to do this. My grandmother and my mother were hunters of found child, and I was raised with that knowledge, being for like them, and I feel like found child is very community based deity. He's just like he's the hunting god, and he hunts for the people. So
Sustenance.
Providing for the community.
Yeah, I can't wait till we get to cults, because mine's just like kill things.
There you go.
I'll go after Kent, because our characters are a little similar actually. Now that I'm listening to your runes a little bit, so I have also made a kind of protector caretaker character a little bit. I chose, so I haven't spent my 50 points yet. I just allotted the base and I will adjust them and tweak them a little, but the order is going to stay the same. So I have 60 in earth, 40 in water, 20 in darkness, and I got the 10 in air. I will adjust them a little bit here and there, but earth and water are going to be my primary and secondary runes. Earth, because I was raised by priestesses of Ernalda, so I am a little more in touch with the feminine side of things, and I am a little more well reasoned and less hot-headed like the men of the clan. My power runes are I have 50-50 fertility and death, 50-50 truth and illusion, 50-50 stasis and movement. I have 75-25 beast and 25 man. I am a wolf boy. And I chose 75 harmony and 25% disorder because I care about the pack and I want to belong and I want to protect others and be that, even though I'm kind of an outcast. Womp womp.
You
so
made a good boy.
I did. I'm on the outside looking. I'm on the outside looking in, wishing to be a part of something that I've never quite felt a part of. But that drive and desire in me is strong. I just don't know what to do about it. Being a wolf among deer.
I'm going to adopt your good boy.
Being a wolf among deer.
I feel like we once again need to post the Amber character spectrum because this is dead on.
Terrified men, wolf, terrifying women. That's my scale there. I am a terrified man wolf raised by terrifying women. So that's all here. I've got it all.
You got it all.
I've got it all.
Yeah, we've all slowly discovered the spectrums of characters we play, and that they're all on a weird sliding scale that's different for everyone.
Sarah?
Christians is just different flavors of asshole.
Broad spectrum of asshole.
So many different meanings. We actually thought of having a T-shirt once that said "flavors of asshole," but then I was like, no, because people will not understand where it came from.
Yeah, no matter
the most inside of inside.
Wow.
No matter how we designed that,
it
would not have been good. No matter how
Interesting one to walk around with.
DMs after dark, flavors of asshole. You're gonna get DMs, but not the ones you're hoping for.
I probably get a lot of attention that I didn't want, or maybe I do.
Talk to your wife.
Also,
buddy.
yeah. So I feel like you and I have some things in common. We probably know each other a little bit here.
Yeah. Because I did progress with my character a little bit further than everyone else. I know what I'm going to become, what I want to my character to be. So I know like I do have some other stuff, and we'll get to that later. But we are going to be very similar. And like I said in our
I got a lot of internal conflict. So like I am these things, but I don't know. I'm 16. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Yeah.
Another really cool thing about this is like a lot of times you make characters who are pretty strongly what they are, but like we're playing 16-year-olds. Like no
16. Well, everything is scary. What?
Lynn, thank you for the 100 heart biddies. We love you.
Thanks, babe.
Linferno. Yeah, I'm also huge, but I'm only 6'2". I'm like the upper end of normal huge, not like these freaks.
Am I the only one left? I don't even know.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. I was working on mine while I still haven't figured everything out. So I was working on mine while people were talking about theirs. So I'm also going to adjust, but my highest right now, I have 80% for air because my character is going to be super short-tempered, like high strung, short-tempered, competitive. I'll try my best to play her, but we'll see. My second highest is Moon.
That's going to be hard for you.
I know.
Just pick up a pumpkin and smash it over the nearest child's head to kill them.
Our characters are
she did that in the game. Like, I know that people will understand that, but she did smash a kid in the head with a pumpkin.
Yeah, my kid's on bikes game. Let's go.
I know.
I fucking murdered this child.
I feel like me and Rainey are going to be friends, maybe, as other people are talking about how.
Well, it makes sense. We both come from herders, and then me and like it's actually nice. Like even though we did this all kind of separately, it's really cool that like we're all kind of finding threads that pull us to one another. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I'm the outside weirdo.
I'm definitely going to eat some of your sheep. There's no.
I would say this. Even me and Amber's characters, she was talking about it. Who like I don't know how that bond is gonna go, like how that interaction, that relationship's gonna be. I mean, I still think that like I'm gonna respect your prowess. Like you know, what I mean? Like character, like that's one thing that like he won't ever deny. You know, is he's gonna be like, you know.
You're good at something. I recognize you're good at it.
Exactly. Yeah. That is honestly pretty much my character's like, yeah. Anyway, good. Sorry, Jess.
No, it's fine. So my highest is air. My second highest is going to be Moon, I guess, because I want her to have some sort of power, mysticism, And then for form affinities, my 2 highest, I chose movement and illusion. I haven't quite figured out how I'm going to fit that into my character yet, but I'm sure I will figure that one out as it comes. And
oh god, illusion, that's such a
Illusion.
you thing.
Okay.
Just if you don't, just plays delusional characters where she's just like, I refuse to accept reality and will not respond or react in any rational way because I just don't accept this is real.
They all seem perfectly rational to me, so like I'm sure it'll come out.
You can be like,
at some
here
point.
is irrefutable evidence, and she'll be like,
Sham.
I don't feel like it.
Yeah.
Info. Sorry.
And then I'm
Gideon.
probably going to shift a little bit towards beast, disorder, and death. I haven't quite figured out how much, but maybe just a slight shift towards disorder and death. Yeah. That's mine.
Cool. Very chaotic people.
Yeah.
Yes.
And what's your size? Since we've had this conversation for everyone else, I
Because
think
we haven't moved to characteristics yet, so
Yeah,
I'm
yeah, I know, but-
following the steps.
She is small.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we've talked about size. I rolled an 8 for my size, which is like the lowest that you can take.
Small.
So I am like
Small.
5 foot and 110 pounds.
Oh, we're gonna be total friends.
But I'm super
Big
strong.
and small.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Team
you have
small and team small.
but you have a mount, right? Like we're getting a little ahead of
do.
this.
Yes,
Like
I will
yeah,
have a
like
mount.
that's how you big though.
I know.
That's
I'll
how
still
you
take up a
big.
lot of space. Correct. I'll still take
Um,
up a lot of space.
Now
She
we'll
rides
throw
a
her
corgi
and her
into
mount.
battle. That's how small she
I'm gonna have
is.
a really big mount.
Yeah.
Those are probably the most important thing about your character because they determine a lot of how you use magic. They determine a lot about your character. I mean, you can, if you are in a situation where you cannot decide what your character is going to do, you can literally present all dice for your runes, and say like, okay, let's see what we're going to do. And
Jess,
and there you go. You're not the only one. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I was just gonna say,
Yeah.
Jess, Andrew just said in chat, the current leader of his player group, he's running the company of the dragon. The current leader of the group is also size 8.
Size small.
For the small people. It's
Extra
funny
small.
too, because in like real life, this 16-year-old is like 4 inches taller than I am now.
Now, real
I'm
quick
just
though,
like so small, but they're still taller than me.
I mean, her size, obviously, you could say she's small and therefore whatever, but there's a stat, we're going to get into characteristics now, but is power the stat that would represent like their like
Power is
dominating
magic.
presence?
Yeah,
Power is
power
That's
is-
charisma. Magic
power
is magic. Power is magic.
Power is magic and force of like will and personality and like life
Yeah.
force.
So it would be
more
power.
than it
If
is
somebody's
like
very
charisma.
powerful. Yeah.
And charisma, yeah.
Yeah.
But I
think
think
so.
power
Also
combined with charisma-
small.
That's great because power is my highest stat.
Whoa.
Tiny and meat. So let's talk about. Let's skip this to characteristics. Everyone
next
who's ever
step
played
anyway.
role playing games and Next Step Anyway knows what these are. But you have some different ones. So we got strength. Everyone
Familiar.
knows what that one is. Constitution. Oh, wonder what that is. Very familiar. Size, which we've all been talking about, is literally how big or small.
It's the
your character
funniest
is.
thing.
I love the size. I love
Dexterity,
size
we know what that one is. Intelligence, power is the one we just talked about. Is a measure of like force of life force, magic, force of personality, spirit, sort of that thing. It's used to resist magic. It's used to make magic. It's important. And then you have
Charisma's
charisma.
more the force of personality.
Again,
it's
we
like,
know-
do this.
I think both of them together can come.
That's a cool thing
put
about
together,
the skills, actually. It's that
yeah.
they consider the synergy between your stats with
Yeah.
the
Yes.
skills, which is cool.
Yeah.
We'll talk
that
about
was
that.
really cool.
And we all rolled, and I mean, you guys feel free to go through what you have with your characters. Helps certainly to describe our characters. So again, Rainey, you can start again.
I rolled pretty well. I have like 3 high stats and the rest are pretty average, but I'll take the 3 high stats. So my strength is 15, which is pretty strong. It's like, a little bit of average. Constitution is 16. Size is 18, as we said.
Jesus.
A big old boy. My dex is 13, which isn't bad given how big I am. But actually what is really cool is my size imposes negative modifiers to like my stealth and agility because I'm just so big. But my dex was like, you do all right though, Intelligence 11, so not a very smart boy. But that's actually my lowest stat was 11, and then
So that's not terrible.
yeah. Power 12, charisma 13. So I rolled pretty well.
That's good. Yeah.
All things considered, nothing under 10, which was like nothing under
damn.
11. I was like, this is pretty solid. But anyway, that's yeah, those are my characteristics. Should we and I get bonus I got bonuses to them. We should say this based
why
on
don't you add that now and talk about that
from
now
your
because that
runes.
has to go from your runes. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm size 18, but I rolled 16 for it, and I get +2 to my size because of my darkness rune being my primary. And then I got a +1 to my strength because of my air secondary rune. So, and then Sartar doesn't give any modifiers for characteristics.
Yeah, they're somewhat average sized people.
Yeah, and
Some people are
then
bigger and smaller.
yeah, and then
Isn't it 2 and 1?
It's two
Did I do that wrong?
two for your highest rune and one for your second highest rune.
Yeah, 2 for 1.
And then from your characteristics, you do derive attributes, but I don't think we need to go into those. It's basically like how many hit points you have, magic points. And
we did the maths. They check out.
Yes, we did the math. One thing that is cool, I do like this. Runequest has hit points like by location.
Immediately that leg is gone.
pretty cool. Because again, like we talked about how important family history is in a game like this. And like clearly there are stats and abilities and things that are interesting that can your character doesn't. I don't know, it's just interesting because like you said, like if you lose a leg, obviously that's going to hurt your character's chances of being particularly effective in some ways, but not necessarily in others. And I don't know, I thought it was cool. I've never actually played a game that has a good damage location thing, so I'm excited to see how this works in practice.
I played 2 sessions of Runequest once, and everybody's arms and legs died immediately. It was really brutal. We're like, just like torsos rolling around.
You put them back on, Sarah. You're going to be reattaching them
right
left and right.
Yep.
Yeah, I know.
That's why Sarah is very important. Protect the healer.
I'm gonna walk up to you with my arm.
Yeah.
If you like having arms, keep her alive.
Yeah, y'all rag on me for always playing a healer, but guess what y'all always fucking need?
Arms.
Me, bitches!
My character is 1,000,000% going to need you.
I think mine too.
Everyone's favorite person.
Yep. All right, so that's me.
I guess I'll go next. So like I said before, I rolled actually extremely well in our home group.
You sent me the picture.
In our home, and those stats actually adjusted slightly because I adjusted my runes after the fact. But in our home group, we have one guy, Amber's husband. Actually, he rolls so well, like. It's just crazy. Like we watch him, he will roll all 18s for stats.
Follow me for more tips on managing a min-maxing son of a bitch.
So, and I wrote my stats down. I did everything like a little notebook. I did strength, dexterity, con, power, charisma, size, and intelligence. I did top to bottom. The stats that I ended up with were 16, 14, 16, 17, 17, 18, 13.
Damn.
I rolled extremely well. Like I was rolling and I was like, I am so sorry, Christian. Like I did not mean to roll this powerful
fuck him up.
It's okay. Your arms and legs will die just like everyone else's.
So I like after the fact, I was thinking of this, and it's like oh, like headcanon, like my character is like a favored of my the deity of the cult I'm going to be following, and like it kind of makes sense to me that I like how well my characteristics ended up being, but because I have a high air rune and a high air rune and a high earth rune. My strength and constitution went up by 1. So what I ended up with was 18 for strength, 14 for dexterity, 17 for constitution, 17 for power, 17 for charisma, 18 for size, and 13 for intelligence. It was extremely well rolled on my part. Like, and
David, are you watching us? I love you.
I think Kent, I think we're gonna be rivals more than
yep. It's going to be an on and off thing because like I said, I had a lot of free time. I looked up a lot of stuff. Like I do eventually get a rune power that does make me bigger too. So
not acceptable. Is that okay?
But Yeah, I did extremely well for my stats. I also believe, because being the protector type, I'm probably going to die protecting the healers. So,
or small children,
or small children, or
maybe a puppy.
yeah,
Oh,
Jess's
Amber.
cow.
That's just you. That's a level that
No,
you stoop
it
to, not
was
me.
Kent.
True. But
Hey,
you put him
I
there.
saved that dog.
Did save
He
that
he
dog.
made the right
Hey,
choice
I also saved the dog.
You don't count.
after dropping it.
You got a lot of dogs. You've
I
said,
went
a
back
lot
for
of
it.
All right, I'll go after Kent again. I rolled okay the second time around. First time I bombed it so bad I would not live. Then I used the sidebar rules, which are much kinder. And this is after my rune adjustment. So I have strength 15, con 16, size 16, dex 16, intelligence 14, power 10, charisma 9. I am a little shy, a little reserved.
Okay, those are
Fits.
pretty good.
It fits. Don't want to be out and rather be with the wolves.
Yeah, just outside looking in. That's me.
I can relate to that. So then sometimes there are some adjustments for Homeland. Like Rainey said, it doesn't matter for Sartar. There's only a couple, depending on if you have a certain sort of Praxian tribe. So we get into past attributes.
Oh, I haven't done mine yet. Hi.
Why
Or
are you so
or
quiet?
Jess.
And do I keep forgetting you?
Yeah, and
I
Jess.
haven't done mine either. Yeah.
Jessens.
You're too excited. You're too excited. You just want to.
He's so excited to get into
It's
this.
I'll
because,
just stop.
like,
I really just
no,
want to start playing.
me and
But
Rainey
that's
are
cool.
too loud to forget, and Kent just slips in between us. That's why this is
That
happening.
works that is actually very, very true.
Jess,
Do
would
you
you
wanna
like to
go?
tell
Okay. Okay. Oh, sure. I'll go first. Thank
Please
you,
go.
Sarah. So my stats are already adjusted with the elemental runes. Strength 15, con 14, size 8, which we talked about, dexterity 13, intelligence 15, power 16, and charisma 11. So I rolled okay.
So Jess, you might actually have the worst stats so far, and
What?
those weren't even bad. Well, I mean, like they're not bad, but they're like
Or the worst so far. Oh,
What
man.
was your highest? You only had like a
16, yeah. My
16,
power
yeah.
is 16. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
16's my highest too.
Same.
All right.
Yeah, but you had like
Alright.
3 of them.
Man.
Yeah, I did get 3 of them. No, I got a 15. Oh yeah, no, I get size 16. Yeah,
Yeah.
16.
So Jess,
Huge.
don't worry, I got you.
I'm
Thanks.
also
Protect
there with
damage all the
Jess.
time.
So
You can ride on his shoulders and just chop and hack things.
You can also train skills to raise them if you wanted to. Some skills
If you
can
don't
train.
ride at least
Mhm.
one of the huge dudes
No.
to
But
battle.
what it's gonna look like is it's actually gonna be
It's like
gonna be
Master Blaster.
I'm gonna be carrying Jess's cow, and then Jess's cow is gonna be carrying Jess, and then that's gonna be the battle formation.
Oh,
Wait.
Throw me and my
That's
cow.
crazy.
We can add another level to this, but that's
The
going to get
fast
to
cow
cults.
special. Yeah.
Sarah, why don't
Hi.
you tell me about your stats?
thanks, Jess. I appreciate it. Christian, you
So-
shut your whore
Everybody
mouth.
who's- Everybody who's important has gone already, so we're just going to move on.
Bitch,
clearly
I'm
there's no-
friends with your wife.
Okay, go ahead.
I'll
That's
play
not
the
get
what
on
you
wife.
there.
think it is.
I'll
But go
play
on.
the card. Your
Message
wife
his
likes
wife,
me.
get her and his kid on here to start roasting him in the chat.
It's not necessary.
Alex knows how to use Twitch.
He does. That's the scary
I
thing.
can get your wife and your son on my side.
Listen, all we
Roast him,
need is
roast
all we
They
him.
need
already
is-
are.
I know.
Christian, just do another French accent. It'll come around. It'll come.
No.
Now I have to tell the French accent story. Okay, so we did
Oh no.
we did Good Society last year, and we created a character, Tom Fuckery. And so I did this whole thing,
Fuckery.
Thomas Fuckery, welcome to the circus, ho, ho, ho. And it became like an Instagram clip. And my wife works with Rainey's brother-in-law, and he walks up to her and is like, "Oh, yeah, your husband does a great French accent." And so, like, I don't think anything of it. And then she comes home from work one day, and she's like, "Why are you doing a French accent online?" And I'm like, immediately, like, "Oh shit, what did I say?"
Yeah, what did I say? And then what you said was his name is Fucari.
Tom Fuckery. Tom Fuckery. Anyway, Sarah.
And
You have the floor.
somehow
The older, more R-rated cousin of tomfoolery.
and somehow Thomas Fugari has made it into our home D&D game with our other GM,
Legend.
As has Eddie Cocaine.
as has Eddie Cocaine. Yeah, but that's not even a DM's After Darks reference. Christ. So, we do shenanigans here. Yes. So my stats are also on the average, slightly above average side. Strength 9, con 9, because she is cursed and sick. Size 12, so she's like 5'8". She's a little above the average. Dex 13, intelligence 16, power 16, charisma 14.
Nice. Not bad.
She's fine.
Yeah,
Fine.
It's good. It's good.
yeah.
Someone has to carry the average here.
Yeah.
It's
Someone's got to be.
best be the
someone
hell
has
healer.
to be the median.
Yeah.
And that's you.
I'm just there in the middle.
Someone
what?
is normal proportioned.
Yeah.
but you
Is
know
the
what?
filling in the Oreo cookie, and that's you.
But you know what?
That's the best part.
Troy is also very small, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. He's
I
like
think in
5'5"
chat he
or
said
something like that.
5'5", yeah.
5'5", yeah.
Sarah,
Troy and I round out the average.
Sarah, the safest place for your character to be is in the middle of all of us crazy people.
I know.
So it's actually totally it works. You know what I mean?
Which is even funnier because that means I have no idea where this girl is going to land, because my personal character scale is the taller they are, the nicer they are, and the shorter they are, the more chaotic they are. So I'm playing the girl in the middle this time. So we'll see.
Chaotic. Yeah.
The wild card.
He's the wild card.
No, this is yeah. You can just kind of play both sides. You know.
If we were 50-50, extremely small and extremely huge, that would have been so funny. Also would have been funny if we were all extremely huge except for Jess, who was extremely small.
Like the hobbit of the group.
It's the inverse of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Yeah.
7 giants and a hobbit.
Sable Black and the Seven Giants.
Okay, now we can
Right.
move on, Christian.
Okay.
So,
Are you sure? Are you sure? You're good? You don't have anything else to say?
Fuck you.
Yeah, there it is. That's
The
the thing.
look.
That's the
That's the way it
answer
works.
right
The
there.
look
That's
said
the
it
look.
all.
You think that look means anything to me?
It does to me. I'm withering.
Oh no, Jess, not you!
So
Calling Thunder is at her mercy.
True, true.
And he's your nice character.
He is my nice character. That's true.
Yeah.
And my other character's technically at your mercy too, because you're the healer in that group. So.
Yeah, I keep his ass. I saved him from death twice.
Twice in one counter.
Yeah. You got eaten by a box. Twice.
I did. Usually I like it to be the other way around, but you know. Anyway, go ahead, Rainey. Hey.
I was gonna say that.
You were saying
Okay.
something, Rainey?
Well, no, I'm gonna bring it back to Runequest.
Yes, let's talk RuneQuest.
We'll bring it back to the game.
This is what y'all signed up for.
This stage
Crap.
of
Fuckery.
character creation is where I start getting questions, because this is where I
Sure.
accidentally goofed and I erased all of my skill percentages, because this is where we're playing 16-year-olds. So
So we're
from
doing
here on
the
out-
inexperienced adventure stuff. For ease of play, what I had said is now there are base skills. Well, before that, when you do attributes, you have your hit points, you have your magic points. That stuff is all derived. Did you handle those derived attributes?
Yes, we
Yes.
all did
Oh,
the
we
math.
did the math
Cool.
stuff,
All right, so
yeah.
we'll skip over that because I don't think people want to watch this
Yeah,
go
it's
like
derived.
Does
Set by
Sarah
set by
have
that.
that though?
You
I don't-
follow charts and they give you
What do you
numbers.
mean by derived
the
attributes?
derived
Sorry.
there's-
stuff like your hit points, your magic points, your
There's
strike
like a
rank.
section where it's like your magic points is equal to your power. Your
Yeah,
con
so
is equal
Sarah,
to
your hit points, yeah, exactly, are equal
So
to your
I-
constitution plus
I
your.
have
this plus
some of
this.
it.
to get your strike rank, something like that.
Yeah, like I have some of it, but I don't know if I have all of it.
I don't think, is it going to come into play tonight? She can do those, because that's not going to change
No.
after this anyway, right?
No, it's completely derived from your things.
Yes.
So we'll just
Yeah.
At
Yeah,
this
they're
point,
completely derived. Yeah, so it's not a big deal. So Sarah, I can work with you on that stuff as we go later on.
Yeah.
That's not a big deal.
I'm a little slow.
I mean, if we want to
you're
do it
not.
right now, because show people how it's done, that's
yeah,
fine.
well, you know, do that. We'll just do your particular character
It's
then,
pretty
Sarah.
Oh, okay.
So we'll
Sure.
start because it is quick. Magic points are just equal to your power.
Yep.
Okay, so that is 16. So I'm
That's
just trying to
good.
find where that goes in my character.
I was like, I have just
First-
enough magic
your
points to
first
turn
page
into
at
a
the
wolf
bottom.
when I need to. Done.
Oh,
I
thank
haven't
you,
even
Jess.
looked into what like my magic can do, but I don't have a lot of magic points.
Okay, magic point 16. Perfect.
Already necessarily as like teenagers or haven't become
Right.
adults yet, you wouldn't know
Probably
that
have
stuff.
learned
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah, you'll start learning as we go. So
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, so then I have
Just a
16 magic points because my power
dirtbag,
is 16.
baby.
Yeah. And then right next to that, your hit points are just equal to your con.
So that's 8.
No, it's con
No.
plus
It's
What? It's con plus something?
Yeah,
Yeah,
hold on a minute. It's
con
hit points are
plus-
equal to their con modified by size and power. So if
Oh,
you
that's
look, there's
what it
that
is.
chart right there, and it depends on you start with your constitution, but then you have
both my size and power fall into that neutral zone. So it's
so
Okay.
you're just going to be
So then
equal
it's
to your
just
con.
a con.
Yeah, and then you can see there's on page right at the top of the page next to it, it's page 55.
Yeah.
It gives you the hit locations.
Yep, I did that already.
Cool.
Perfect.
So you're good
I
there.
have that.
And as you do those, you'll realize why your arms and legs will die so quickly.
Yeah.
Tis for the flesh wound.
Like, I'm
Tis for the
huge. I have a
scratch.
damage bonus of plus 1d4. That appears to be enough to kill a normal sized arm in one blow. Just the bonus. Like,
Yeah, well, hey, listen, swords are like nasty in real life.
right? Like,
so
fuck your
Yeah,
arm.
plus 1d6
Shouldn't have blocked with your
plus
arm.
1.
Yeah. Healing rate is the next thing that's determined by your constitution.
Which is 8, so that's a rate of 2.
Their characteristics.
Damage bonus, you add strength and size, and then look on that chart there.
So strength plus size for me is 21, so that's in the neutral range.
There you
No
go.
bonus.
Makes
So
sense.
You're a
Makes
healer?
sense.
Well,
Uh,
are you a pacifist anyway?
Yeah.
So it doesn't
Yeah.
really matter for you, but you could pat
The
people.
best way
if
to
you need
survive combat is honestly to avoid it. So,
Mhm. I don't
Spirit-
anticipate like a super amount of combat anyway. So we'll see
Damn.
what happens.
Well, then what am I doing here?
I know. I'm
It's
I mean
not
I'm
gonna
also
be there, but it's not going to be like every session, right?
No,
your
I-
whole arc
yeah.
is going to be learning to use other solutions than violence.
you're gonna be growing a
I'm not
heart,
interested.
Rainy.
Not interested at all.
Your heart is going to grow 3 sizes.
Spirit combat damage comes next. That is, you add your power and charisma.
Which
Look
is
on that chart.
which mine is combined to be 30.
So you get 1d6 plus 1. That is when you actually you have to fight a spirit in the spirit world. That is where that comes into play. Encumbrance is one that's a little weird to me because it says the amount of stuff you carry is measured in encumbrance points. I get that, but then it's like average your strength and con. The maximum limit, however, is your character's strength, even if it's lower than the strength and con. So average them together and then it's your strength.
It's your strength, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So
yeah,
For me,
because my strength is 9, my con is 8. The average is 8.5.
yeah, so it's the
so
same
you can
anyway.
carry 9. So
Okay,
It-
where
it's
is
basically-
that on the sheet?
That
It's the page full of skills, the crunch page.
Yeah,
I mean,
the
it actually,
bottom corner.
if you break it down, it makes sense because it's like
Oh,
it's your
thank you.
strength unless you're not very constitutional, in which case you can't use all your strength to carry stuff all the time.
yeah.
The
I mean,
entire-
so-
yeah.
yeah, you get winded.
For my
right?
character, my
Yeah.
con is higher than my strength, but I
Mhm.
can't hold more than my strength allows. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So it makes sense, but it is a weird way to word it.
So yeah, so that's 9 for me.
And then lastly, there's strike ranks, which I think
So
is
strike rank
yeah,
is
it's like-
basically RuneQuest's version of initiative.
initiative. Yeah.
You don't have rolls to see who goes quicker. You have strike rank. It determines how quickly you move. Every combat round has 12 strike ranks, and the earlier you go, the better off you are. So if you look at that, that is consult your dex and your size. Each of those charts gives you a different number. You add those two numbers together.
So my dex is 13.
Where
so
is
my
that?
dex strike
I feel like I
rank-
did it. And I
Yes,
don't
it's
know.
under characteristics.
Yep. It's on page
Oh, yeah, there. Yeah,
57. So
So
yeah,
my
so your
dex
dex
is
strike rank is
13.
2.
Yeah, and my size is 12, so also 2.
So your base strike rank is 4.
Is there a spot for base strike?
No, it's actually separated into the 2 on the character sheet.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you have to kind of just remember you have those two, but then if you have like let's say you're going to attack with I don't know off the top of my head, but I think an axe is like adds 3 to that, right? So then your attack rank with an axe would be 7. That's when you go.
Okay,
I think it's
just gonna
split
make it
between
work.
size and dex because like size is basically like melee and dex is all ranged stuff.
You know, that's true. How does this work?
Call
Please
that.
explain.
Hi, friend, help us.
Please
Thank you for being
explain. Yeah.
And in the meantime,
Yeah.
I think that's all.
That's all of them. Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
That's
And
all
then
of
we
them.
get into skills, which RuneQuest is a D100 system. Roll under.
You know what?
If you
Actually,
like crunch,
I see the
you'll love
example. I
RuneQuest.
see the example here, though. Kent, you're actually right because I'm reading Vasana's the example of Vasana. Yeah, it depends on your weapon spell.
Okay.
So spells and when you do weapons, you will add Dex, Strength plus size plus weapon. But when you do spells and missile weapons are based just on Dex. So okay. So you'd be slower with a bigger weapon, but a missile weapon, you just use your Dex one or a spell.
That's fair.
Makes sense. All right. So then we get into all these wonderful skills. And you have all these different categories as you go through the pages where if your agility skill category, for example, can be modified up and down depending on your physical characteristics.
Oh gosh.
And
they're modified by a combination of your physical characteristics.
Yeah.
I like that. Like your agility skills. In most RPGs, it'd be like just modified by your dexterity, but it's like modified by your dexterity and your strength because you need both of those things to be agile.
Yep.
And
Yeah, this is very cool stuff. Very, very well thought out.
I'm too big to be that agile.
Yep.
Want to quickly draw attention to my favorite skill, which is
Prepare
corpse. I know, like, smart me knows that this is funeral rites, but like gourmand me is like, with a 10 in that, you just add hot sauce. I love it.
Barbecue.
Yeah. I'm not very good at grilling. I just put hot sauce on it.
Hot sauce, why? Hot sauce. Because I love that shit.
She's awesome.
Good reference. Good reference.
Yeah.
4 out of the 6 of us get that shit now. Yeah.
done well, Amber.
I know what
Everyone
it's a
read the
reference.
Locktomb
Do you?
series.
Okay, so
I knew what it was a reference to.
Yeah.
I knew what it was a reference. As soon as you said 4 out of 6 of us, I was like, oh, it's a locked tomb thing.
It's a Locktomb thing.
Read the Locktomb.
I know
Everyone
how to
read
read
Tamsin Muir. It's
room.
amazing.
Kent's getting there.
I'm still on the spaceship in the first book.
He's getting
Whoa.
there.
You got a ways to go, bro.
Yep.
It's a hell of a
what
ride.
a journey ahead of you, my friend.
I have hard time with space fantasy, so like it was just like, yeah, they're in space now. It's like,
Don't worry,
slow
they
to
don't.
a dead
they get
dull
out of
crawl.
space
They get
very
out
quickly.
of this. Yeah, there's not
I
too
know,
much space.
It's getting
As
around
of
in
now.
space in the
Yeah.
game. And even the space travel that
Dude.
there is.
The
eventually
entire
in space-
second book is on a space station, but it's not super
But it's not
spacey.
in
Yeah.
space,
It's more
and-
psychological horror.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say, even for the first book, I was like, oh, I didn't even realize like that this was a sci-fi. Like it didn't read very sci-fi.
It's
to me.
literally like
It's
just
It's a
like the-
science fantasy. Yeah.
It's literally just the pages where they're going down to the planet that I'm stuck on. It's just like
I
I
know,
can't
you just
I
gotta
can't
get
do
past
it.
that.
I gotta
the
push
next
through it.
skip to landing.
The next 100 pages are a little bit rough too, but like after that, like it's great.
That's always what you want to know here for a book, right? It's always, totally.
So good.
So
They're only singing about like walking for the next 200 pages.
singing about not even walking, just singing about walking.
I think they actually are.
So, all right. So next up, we have skills.
Yep. So then we did
So
the
there
table.
is, so
Is
once
it
you
skills or is it
Occupation.
occupation?
No, I think
It's
it's
No, it
skills
is actually
first.
skills because you have the base chance. I'm
Skills
giving
first.
Sarah a minute to
Okay,
catch up
okay.
here.
Yeah, sorry.
No, I'm
No,
just
it's
not. How you
fine.
doing? We digress to Locktomb.
I'm doing good. So I'll explain what I've been doing while you guys
modifiers.
So
There
I've
it
been
is.
going through all of the skill category modifiers.
Perfect.
So each set of skills is broken up by what category they're on. So, for example, agility, communication, knowledge, magic, manipulation, perception, stealth, and then weapons. Different types. And all of these are on a percentile system. So they can go from anywhere from your skill is 0, which is nothing in that area, to 100, which like you will never fail at doing this, which is almost inhumanly possible.
To over 100, where it's like you actually make other people worse at doing it if it's a weapon skill or if they're going against you.
That's really cool. That's
So
a
you
clever
can
way
go
to
over 100.
Yes.
Yeah, you can.
And each of them is modified by your characteristics. So, for example, for my character for agility, agility is affected by your strength, size, dex, and power. So, with the way that her stuff works, her strength falls into the neutral. So you can get either in some of these, like there's like a -5, a +5, a -10, +10, all depending.
Yeah.
So her strength falls into the neutral zone. size falls into the neutral zone. Her dex gives her a +5, and then power into the neutral zone. So to all of my agility skills, I automatically get a +5%.
Nice.
And then it goes on further. So I've gotten through everything up until weapons.
Yeah,
so I have caught up, I think.
Yeah,
Sort of.
weapons technically you find out elsewhere, I believe.
Okay, I was gonna say I did not do weapons at all, so I have no idea how that works.
Weapons is all your manipulation bonus.
Yep.
From what I read.
That means
All categories?
Yep.
What is a manipulation bonus?
So
It's one of those.
The bonus you get to your manipulation also applies to melee, missiles,
Oh.
shields, and natural weapons.
Yep.
That's cool.
So whatever. Okay, so if I'm understanding what you
okay,
just
so
said, my
that's
modifier
pretty good.
for manipulation goes.
Also applies to all of your weapons and stuff. Yes.
That's hilarious because that's one of my best bonuses. I get +10 to that, which is really funny for the pacifist.
That's both melee and missile.
Yep, and shields and natural.
Yep.
And shield and natural weapon.
It should say it underneath the manipulation section.
It in
It's
fact
like the-
does.
It's the last one.
Yeah,
It's
I-
yep.
Don't read. That is. I hate reading RPGs. I love.
It's right.
them.
It's in the first. It's in the first paragraph. Manipulation skills require good hand and eye coordination. They are conceal, craft, devise, play instruments, sleight, and all weapon skills, including shields, missile weapons, and natural attacks.
Gotcha. Perfect.
So it
Okay,
applies
makes
across the
sense.
board there. And then when it gets into skills, every skill has a base skill value that it
Right.
starts at. So for instance, mace is 10, survival is 15, treat disease is 5. Then you have cultural bonuses to go on part of that, because if you're part of a culture, just applies kind of across the board that you learn this stuff whether you wanted to or not. You would use the cultural bonus skills for Sartar there. So you have, if you look through there, ride +5, dance +5, one-handed spear +10. I'm just kind of reading randomly. Broadsword +15, composite blow +10, medium shield +15, speak own language shortling. Automatically have 50.
Only 50. Not
Only
good with words.
50 is like a professional level in a
Okay.
skill. So if you've got a 50, you can do it well. If you go above that, then you're getting into like, a 75 speak shortling might be like a poet or someone like that.
Yeah, but then you're getting into philosophy territory, and nobody wants you.
And
Nobody wants
you.
you.
They-
Lowest
they-
ransom.
They actually will like leave you.
They'll pay you to,
They'll pay
Yeah,
you to
to
stay
keep
away.
you.
Yeah. So like those are your cultural bonuses. Add them in, and then That's-
Amber, you had stepped away for this, but since I helped you with your character sheet, you also don't know this. But your modifier for all of the combat stuff is the same as manipulation.
same as manipulation. Okay, so 10. Ooh, 10.
Damn, you're all manipulative. I only
I
got
would
plus
take
5
it.
of those.
Because I rolled extremely well. I have +20.
Hot damn.
God.
Manipulation?
Yep. I get a plus to every single one of the bonuses there.
I only got half of them.
He
Zulfikar
eats his
Zaban
Wheaties.
already gave you some rerolls for this game.
I
So
did
Oh,
see that.
You're going into the first session. And
Let's just save all the rerolls for Jazz.
Just call him Zulfi. I don't know. Zulfi.
Hey,
Um,
hey!
so-
You don't know how this is gonna go. This one
Christian,
could be different.
I know you're small.
we are doing occupations for our 16-year-olds.
Yeah. So it's like start with them, right? And get your occupation skills filled in, and then we'll worry about the cult stuff too, because we want to know what direction you're going. By 16, you're going on the cusp of adulthood here. You're gonna kind of know because you have like a family trade or something. Nobody's gonna let you like find yourself until you're 35 here. You're gonna have to start doing something pretty quickly.
You've been contributing for a while. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're going to know some of that stuff. So definitely your profession skills. Let's talk about occupation then. And why don't we start with you then, Rainey, and go. We'll talk about that because we talked a little bit about like the stuff you'd have, the stuff you wouldn't have, and that'll be a guide for the others too.
Yeah. So there are a lot of occupations that are really cool, and they actually break down.
Philosopher,
skills you
apparently.
get. What's that?
I said, except for philosopher, nobody likes those guys.
The funniest shit I found in this book so far is like when you look at the different occupations, they have different ransoms, like what generally your value to your tribe, basically. And like farmers and shit are at 500, nobles and priests are at like 1,000. Like the thief Like, you steal shit. That is what you contribute to your community. Sometimes from your own community, you are stealing. Your ransom's $250. Philosopher, $150. Nobody wants you. I thought that was hysterical.
Philosopher is in here as a profession, as an occupation you can take.
They're like, keep the English majors. We
Yeah.
don't want them.
They're like, no, hey, stay away.
So I chose, surprise, surprise, I chose warrior.
Yep. You're
My-
doing heavy
I
infantry,
am
right?
shocked.
Now I was torn between heavy cavalry and heavy infantry, but I think my character is one of those come at me, bro, fight me, you know, like face to face. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh my god, me too.
prove himself.
You are gonna die. You might be okay, Randy, just because you're huge. You will die immediately.
No, Jess is going cavalry.
I am, but I am also a come at me.
Come at me, bro. Come at my horse, bro.
Come at my cow, bro.
Come at my cow.
She needs
So-
Espen.
So your name is Espen?
No, she needs Espen.
In one of
There
our
was a horse
homes,
that Ken
we
made.
had like a boxing.
I had an
Horse was the strongest combatant in the entire party. It was amazing.
It
No,
was
no, no.
Eberron.
Edith's hand.
Edith's
Oh, no.
hands.
Oh no,
It
the
is
worst decision I ever made.
I think that was the
No.
greatest decision,
It
Jess.
was
so
amazing.
good. Anyway, so I chose heavy infantry. Warriors that specialize in heavy weapons and armor, sacrificing speed for shock value. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah, dude.
Ah,
Yeah, I'm one of those anime ass motherfucking big sword wielding bastards. You know what I mean? I'm Berserk. I'm playing whatever that is. But anyway, so I rolled a d6 to see what my unit weapons would be. And I got one-handed weapon and large shield. But I also think that's probably smart. Again, like, despite my character's intentions to be a ridiculously powerful warrior, everyone in his family has died in wars, so a shield is a good idea. I'm gonna take it. So I went with one-handed weapon and large shield. So I get a number of occupational skills that I throw on there. I get a standard of living, my base income, the cults that are typically associated with warriors, favored passions, the ransom, obviously, that would be due for my personage, and then my equipment. So, do I get this equipment or no?
So what I'm going to say is, like, look through, you have your favorite passions. If you want to add passions, like Sarah was asking, they kind of give you, they guide you. Do the skills, because that represents stuff you've been learning. And it would make sense that, we've talked about your character. You're living with the town smith, the red smith of the town. He's right in the town center, close to the chief and the chief's weapon stains.
Yep.
They're probably kind of taking you under the wing because they know who you are. They've been training you. It makes sense that you've been learning that stuff. You would not have the weapons yet.
Okay. Yeah,
So
but
you did roll. You can, the armor and the stuff that will come. And I know you rolled for like your war booty, and we decided that was actually kind of like an inheritance from one of the relatives that died. That
my
you'll
grandmother,
get, your grandmother's, and also the ancestral heirloom was a sword. I would say you can have that.
Okay, so I have my
start with that.
grandmother's
Yeah.
sword.
Yeah.
Now, and maybe this is a question for Andrew or Drew. Is a broadsword one hand or two hand?
I think it depends.
Is it like a master sword, 1.5?
Yeah,
And I'm big.
I think you need a certain strength to wield it one-handed. Hold on a minute. Let me look it up.
Oh, and now Drew's telling me to take a look at Storm Bull instead of Humocked. So maybe
That's what I was looking at too.
Yeah. Jess was looking at that too.
I'm looking
I
at
personally
that.
think Humak would be really cool for your character, but you make your own decision, bro.
Oh yeah, Drew says one or two-handed. So okay, so I'm gonna use a broadsword because I get bonuses to that already, I think, because of something. I could be wrong.
being Sartar, Hortling, something like that, whatever.
Sartar, yeah,
Sartar
That
gets
gives us
bonus.
15.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. You need a strength of 9 and a dex of 7 to use a broadsword. I'm sorry, strength and dex of 9 to use a broadsword. No, I'm sorry, I read it wrong. Strength of 9, dex of 7, use a broadsword one-handed.
Oh,
But you
that's
can
not
do
too
it.
bad.
That's not too
We're
bad.
amazing.
I got double that basically. Let's
Yeah,
go.
you're good. You're good. So yeah.
Okay, so I'll go through and fill out those occupation skills. I messed up my character sheet earlier because I started putting in stuff that I wasn't supposed to do yet. So I'm gonna be spending some time fixing this, and we can move
Rainy
on.
jump the shark.
I missed. What is it that
Just
we're adding
like
from
me.
occupation?
Just add your occupation skills to
So
your.
so
to your
so yeah.
sheet.
So we'll go. So next one down is Sarah. I think I know you
Hi.
probably have your occupation chosen.
Yeah, I'm playing a healer. Holy
Healer.
fuck.
Whoa!
And it makes a lot of sense because there's something Drew said in chat earlier where you would learn your occupation from your family for the most
Yeah.
part. So your family was all priests and priestesses of Shalana Laphroaig. You would know that. You get to jump right in and grab your stuff. So if you look here, it gives you treat disease plus 30. That's really good. And first aid plus 30.
Yeah.
It gives you living, standard of living. Just trying to see what it gives you for healer's kit. I would actually say you can have that already.
The healer's kit?
Because it would make sense that you started learning, like, what plants to pick and that sort of thing. So you have a little satchel you're carrying around with you to kind of like grab those things as you see them. And so, yeah, I would say it makes a lot of sense. You probably put your own together already.
Yeah.
If you want, you could even say it was like a satchel carried by one of your parents.
Yeah, it was probably her mom's.
Yeah. And same thing, if you want, you can roll on the heirloom chart towards the end of that. Or actually, we can wait for that and have everyone do it together. I know Rainey kind of jumped the shark a little bit and did that early. But yeah, makes sense.
So, question
Y'all?
on my gear.
Mhm.
So it lists for the equipment I start with, it's 20 looters and coins, healer's kit, and then miscellaneous items worth 100 L. Does that mean I pick those items?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, cool. So I'm just gonna make a note that I have 100 L to spend, and I'll do it
Yeah,
later.
just go pick it.
100 L. What does
I
L
would
stand for?
Lunars. That's their
Lunars.
coins. Yeah,
Ah.
they're silver coins. Yeah.
Fuck this shit.
Gross. Ew.
You got lunars or silver, clacks are like square metal, square copper coins, and then you have golden wheels, which are very very rare, and bulg, which are made by trolls, which are like little lumps of lead, and they play you with lead. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's your profession, Sarah. You're pretty sorted. Kent and Amber, we just do you together because you want to be hunters. So
Yep.
yeah, go for it.
So because you usually learn your trade from your family, and my family is a line of priestesses, I think I've been spending a lot of time figuring things out on my own because I am a feral wolf boy, but also with Kent.
Awesome. It's kind of like there's stuff you probably just know instinctually.
Yeah, I have a
Yeah.
lot of that's why I
Yeah.
started and everything. Like I
Yeah.
got some instincts here, but also I think Kent has taught me a few things.
Yeah, I think that works out really well.
Yeah, I did follow in the footsteps of my mother and grandmother.
Yes.
And I believe, Christian, we also went over, I do have a mentor that's in the village that could probably also help Amber's character as well.
His guy's name is Barak. He's a hunter.
Does he hate wolf boys?
No, not necessarily.
Not
He's a cool
necessarily.
guy.
That's the answer for everything. Not necessarily.
Not yet. But he's got like a cool little kid, and he's a hunter and very much more along the path of being a devotee of Odalia, the bear god of hunting, than you guys are. So yeah, he would definitely be a mentor to you guys. So that's cool. And that's someone you would share some more kinship with, because again, they spend a lot of time outside of town in the woods.
In the woods. Love them woods.
Yep.
So yeah, I've already added my skill adjustments.
Cool. How you doing, Kent? You got yours already?
I do have my skill adjustments. I am, like I said before, I had a lot of free time, so I basically have my character complete until pretty much adulthood. And I can, as we're playing, I will omit stuff that we don't have quite yet. So
He's noted it.
I have noted it. But I do have the stuff. So like hunters, we get animal lore at
Weapons.
30%, scan, local lore, which local lore was interesting to me because I think it falls under on the character sheet homeland lore own.
Yep.
I think that's where it was. So
That's the question I had. I was like, where is it?
Yeah,
I was
that's
looking
what it
for
would be. Yep.
okay. And track, conceal, hide, listen, and so myself being because I rolled so well for all of my stats, and I am such a big guy, I actually have a -5 to stealth.
Ah.
A weakness appears. Yeah.
Oh, that is my weakness, but like apparently I just chase down the animals anyway.
He doesn't skip leg day.
No.
He doesn't have to get close when he can run that hard and that long.
And like for the hunter is interesting with our equipment. We get all of our cultural weapons that we get. I don't know if that's for everyone. For our equipment, it kind of looks like some of it is.
Yeah, so you can pick depending on the best ones for your culture. I would say this for
bow,
bow, axe, spear, javelin, broadsword would be
Janice Jovelin.
Janice Jovelin.
I myself, I did take the composite.
Sarah.
I did take the composite bow for our cultural weapon.
Take a bow and an axe.
I did also take the battle axe one-handed, and I do have a. I did grab a short spear that we are also with.
Yep.
And being a hunter, we get a hunting animal companion.
So let's hold off on picking that yet. That'll be like a fun thing that comes along later on.
Cool. I got a question actually.
Yours is kind of built in. You know what yours is going to be.
Yep.
Kent, we'll make that happen as we play.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
I already have a name. I didn't fill out the stats for that one, so I just have the name for it.
Troy says, "Make it a hunting pigeon."
Vicious hunting pigeon.
That's a good reference to my very first Dungeon World campaign for Westworld.
He had a vicious hunting pigeon.
That was my first Dungeon World that I ever played in too.
It was huge. He had a huge vicious hunting pigeon.
Fuck yeah!
It was great. It was ginormous. It was great.
So yeah, what was it? What was the question, Rainey? What I saw kind of in the chat. What unit weapons are? Is that what it was?
Yeah. So I think I only have to choose the one. So it says one-handed weapon, pick type under unit weapons. So I was going to choose
so you can, if you wanted to, you can be like, what sort of unit am I in? You roll, and it's one-handed weapon. 1 to 4, one-handed weapon, pick type, and a large shield, or 5 to 6, two-handed weapon, pick type. So and then you just pick the type. That's your unit weapon. So it could be a pike, could be a two-handed battle axe, could be a two-handed sword, it could be a sword and a shield, could be all sorts of different stuff.
So if I pick broadsword, I only get it to broadsword and not short sword as well. Like it would just be just
battle. All weapons, including shield, plus 25. Yeah, but other weapon pick type, you get another one plus 25, and then a tertiary weapon at plus 15.
Yeah,
so basically
I
pick 2
25,
weapons plus. Yeah.
Yeah, I put 25 to broadsword, 25 to composite bow. And then
Spear would probably be the most culturally appropriate one.
Spear?
Tertiary weapon if you wanted to, but that's up to you.
Yeah, I can do that. I'll do spear.
Or dagger or something like that. Yeah.
One-handed.
Can anyone read and write?
What?
In
general?
This is like Shadows of Esther and all
My
over
father
again.
was a scribe, so I imagine I can, but I don't think I have it.
Forget the rules.
Drew, how do we determine?
It starts at 0. You don't get nothing in that unless you
get it.
Pick it up from somewhere.
Typically, it's just scribes, if I remember correctly. But
so no.
My dad was a scribe.
Not yet.
But he died when I was very young, so
yeah.
Yeah, so, he would say no, you don't. Drew basically says, if Drew says you can't read, you can't read.
In our Esther game, Troy forgot that literally all of our characters were illiterate, and he had as a plot hook, he had somebody pass us a note, and leave us a note pinned to a barrel with a knife, and we were like, "Jokes on them, we can't read," and then we just continued on, oblivious.
I'd say that reading and writing within this venue,
unnecessary.
Things are passed on more by like an oral cultural tradition, so.
Pictographs.
No, you can't read. You can understand. You can understand the runes when they're depicted, but I would say that's it. There are written languages, but yeah, there you go. Writing to you is something magical. How do you speak to paper?
Jess can draw a mean cow, though.
Absolutely.
Cow.
Wait, so question: Are there certain weapons like that are better on horseback?
Spear, lance, bow, longer weapons. Usually, a sword would be pretty good.
I don't know what.
I believe Sartar, we do get a bonus to lance.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we do. Okay. All right.
Well, what's a weapon?
Yeah. I'm like, huh?
You got 50 in bow
Oh,
right
you're
now.
a
Feeling
healer.
pretty good about it.
Ha, I get it now.
I literally don't get any. Literally, the only reason I have modifiers in weapons is because I'm from Sartar and because my stats are good.
I've also noticed in natural weapons, you start at fist 25, grapple 25, and kick 15. What up with that? Gloranthan skip leg day? What going on?
They did skip leg day.
Not as important as. Never mind.
It's way harder to land a good
Now I
kick.
want to know what
It
Sarah
really is hard.
Yeah,
to
it
land
is
a-
harder. It is
Sarah,
harder.
you gotta say now. Come
I
on.
want to know.
I'm just gonna say. I can't say it out loud. I'm
Some
embarrassed.
squat
Chat,
joking?
this is
You gonna
what
joke
chat
about
is
squats?
for.
No, I was saying leg days.
Sarah, this is what private
Join
chat
us.
Oh, this is
It's
totally gonna land.
chaos.
After all this hype, this has got to land, Sarah. You
Oh,
gotta hit
this
it.
is
There's
like
too
this
much.
is like Amber and like her Mississippi Steamboat stuff.
Steamboat Willie, Mississippi. Okay, that's what
It's
it.
not even
And
that
the ass
funny.
face. Those are the ones.
Got it. Nice.
Ass face.
You could say that out
really?
loud.
Ass face.
No, I can't. I'm laughing too much right now.
If I could say, all right, Sarah's joke was leg day is not important, not as important as fist day. If I could say I'm a prolapse
It's
Catholic,
good.
you could say
It's
that.
good.
It's
See,
good.
but I couldn't say that.
Fist day is superior. Which day of the week is fist day?
Just not too
Hi.
often.
Hi, Drew. Aren't you glad you woke up at 8 a.m. to come watch us play your game?
I know.
Hey, joke's on you, Sarah. It's fist day in Japan.
Let's move on.
Can
Jess.
you use a broad?
I'm crying a little. God damn it.
Sarah's
know
perfect.
nothing
See,
about
I
weapons.
told you, Sarah
said-
swings. She is Team Chaos too.
I said I was Team Wholesome, then I
Sarah
made that
swings.
joke. Every day is fist day in Japan.
The lure of the dark side is too great. You will all fall victim at some point.
Listen.
No.
Listen, I'm a bisexual that uses multiple pronouns. I can't pick for shit. Of course I
Swinging
swing.
is in your nature.
The bisexual finger guns. You've seen me sit through this entire stream. You think I'm straight?
So, Runequest.
I think you have a question. What would that be?
Oh, I was just saying, can you use a broadsword on a horse? I don't even know.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
Can you
you
use it
reach
one-handed?
things?
Are you
Okay.
strong enough?
If you can
Are you
use it
strong
one-handed,
enough?
yeah.
Are there strength requirements for these things too?
9 and
So-
7 strength
9
and
and
dex.
7.
For Dex.
9 strength, 7 dex, and you can use it
To use
one-handed.
it one-handed.
Where
yeah.
is that?
Your
That's in the
character's
equipment. That's in the equipment. In
Oh,
the
okay,
equipment
okay.
chapter. Yeah. In the
Gotcha,
combat
okay.
chapter, actually, all that stuff's in
Gotcha.
there. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So
Take
yeah,
a
you can
bow or a
absolutely-
javelin, yo.
What?
Ranged weapon.
Oh, for you?
No, for you.
For me? What?
Now, where do we
Because
get
you
that?
get a modifier to it for being Sartar. It's already bumped. I've learned from my husband a thing or two about min-maxing. You stack those bonuses. You stack them.
Now, am I not to get ahead, but I know that we're all almost done with this part.
Mhm.
Next up would be cult,
Mhm.
which we're not doing yet,
Not yet.
and you don't want us to fill out anything from that.
I mean, you all know we can talk about like what cults you think you're gonna go and be a part of.
No, but I just mean like,
Whatever you
are
think.
we
you're
adding
wrong.
skills now or no?
Yeah, but I mean,
Skills up to profession. We're not doing the cult skills yet.
Okay.
Too young, too baby.
and we're not
Correct.
doing personal either.
Correct. Yeah. So you get also the next step would be you figure out the cult your character is part of. You get your rune magic from that cult there, and you also get cult skills. We're not going to do that, and spirit magic from the cult as well. We're not going to learn that yet. Your kids are not adults yet. You don't learn that stuff. They're not going to let kids have magic. They're not my campaign. And that's the character I have in a campaign with Sarah, where he just gave a spell book to a very, very smart but very, very young character. And was like, your kids,
the 7-year-old,
yeah.
Bad things.
That's awesome.
We don't do that here. So yeah, certainly
So
we can talk
50
about
is
cults.
like pro level. I'm a pro at speaking my own language and shooting a bow. Haven't mastered the running or the swimming yet.
Okay. Drew says,
Is that a Valheim reference?
Drew says usually you cannot join a cult until the year after your adulthood initiation.
Okay. We're going to bend that rule a little bit because this game takes place over the course of a year, so we want to get you into those quickly. But yeah, you'll be learning stuff as we go. And
so just to clarify, ignore the skills for that.
Yes.
Yeah, we're not doing. I don't
stop
think,
after you
I don't
add
think
your.
we're doing any cult stuff.
Yep.
Yeah,
just
well,
your
yeah, I mean-
modifiers, your Sartar skills, and your occupation skills. Add nothing else.
Excellent.
Exactly.
Done.
Exactly.
Easy. Done.
Yep. Done. And then cults. I mean, talk about your cults. Talk about what you're interested in if you want. But is Jess done though? Because I feel like we've diverted away from her profession a little bit while she was trying to do stuff. How you doing, Jess?
We didn't even talk about my profession, did we?
I know. I thought you were doing it, and then everybody just like drew me away, and I was distracted.
Sorry, we were talking about it in the chat in Zoom.
Yeah.
So I got sorry.
Yeah,
right.
no, I
Yes,
totally
please
forgot
tell us
too
what
because
your
I was trying to
occupation-
fill stuff out. Yeah, I am also a warrior, same as Rainey.
Yep. And you're doing light cavalry.
I'm doing light cavalry. Hopefully, I'm going to be riding a cow. I would like a bull, not a cow. Well, not a cow. And so, are we only taking the skills and the maybe passions if we want? Is that what's all that's coming from?
I mean,
Yeah,
you
that's
still
what's-
base income,
Passion?
ransom.
Yeah,
Okay,
you
so
have that. Yeah, you
basic
have that
color
stuff.
and
Take those things there.
Okay.
Pick your weapons that you know how to use. And
Okay.
again, for you, because that's kind of like a. We're going to say you start with your mount if it's the bull that you want.
Yes.
We can say that you probably already have it. You've been riding it around. You just haven't run anyone down and killed them with it yet. But you know how to
But
ride
I've
it.
been practicing. Okay.
Yeah, you've been practicing. Same thing with the
Been
weapons.
practicing on those goddamn wolves.
Hey, you have
And
one coming soon.
the same thing, armor and stuff. I would say you do not have yet.
Okay. So I have no weapons, no armor.
A bow if you want. You wouldn't have the distinctive scars because you haven't gotten any fights yet.
I was looking forward to the scars.
I know. I was a little working forward.
I mean, you can if you really want a scar, you can have one. I'm not going to stop you,
Her
but
scar could be from a
But
bull.
you've made up a story and it's a lie about how you got it.
Could be
Right.
from a bullhorn though.
it's really like I
Like I tried
scratched
to jump a
myself.
fence. I'm an
Right.
idiot.
Exactly, and then you're like, no, I got this one fighting the Crimson Bat.
Yeah.
My character's like, I learned to throw my broadsword, and I just accidentally just cut myself really bad. Ranged.
What did you pick for weapons and stuff, Jess?
I picked. Oh gosh, I picked broadsword, lance, spear, mace, and composite bow.
Cool.
And then there were more, and I just gave up because I was tired. I was like, that's enough.
Yeah, the stuff you'll get. The war booty, same thing I told Rainey. If you want to roll with that, we'll just call it like an inheritance from one of your like people that you get.
It's a war booty from a more warrior than you.
Right, an ancestor, someone
Listen,
because you have
it's
people
war
who
booty.
died. You have people who died too, so it could be something from them.
Not from a war I fought.
That's right. And then next
The
will be
Eternal
cult.
War.
We're not going to be doing cult, but if you want to talk about the cult you're interested in, so people get an idea of the direction you're going with the character, that's fine.
The cult that is interested in me is the cult of
Yeah.
Telmore.
You don't get a choice. You're just there.
I was born an initiate into this cult. I just
Yep.
haven't changed yet. But it's coming.
It's coming. It's a coming.
Telmore is a wolf god.
Yeah, Telmore. So I'll give background of each of the gods. There we go. That's a good thing. So Telmore is the god of the wolves. Within Glorantha, there are these people called the Hakim, who are basically they all have beast totems. So there's like a wolf tribe, there's a raven tribe somewhere out there, a bear tribe, a lion tribe. They have very close connections spiritually to these animals and like totem gods of them. The wolf tribe is a little bit different than the rest of them because historically they served in the army of this guy Nicelor, who was a false god, who gave them a blessing, which was that bronze weapons won't harm them while they're in their wolf form. So that was a blessing he gave them, but it was also Nicelor was not what he appeared to be because he was also not a good guy, and that was combined with a chaos curse, which is that every wild day, which I think is a Friday or Saturday, our world, they turn into wolves and they can't control it.
They party hard.
They party hard, and that causes
They
their
kill them
neighbors
sheep.
that causes their neighbors not to like them because they just go, and party hard on their. They do wolfy things on their lands for one day every week.
Wolfy things are expensive for herders and farmers.
But they're powerful and they're tough warriors. And the king of Sartar actually had a Telmor bodyguard, like a band of them, Telmori wolf warriors. So there's they're culturally, they're part of the culture, but they're not particularly liked. But it's something you're born into. It's not something you choose. You're actually born with a chaos mark. Or wolf mark. A wolf mark. I'm sorry. A wolf mark. Yeah, a wolf mark. So that's Telmor. Who wants to go next?
I'll go. I just did look into Storm Bull, which does play well with. I think Darkness is the anti-chaos, but and Darkness is my strongest rune. But I am going to stick with Humacht. And Humacht is the god of death and war. Death and war is literally my character's entire life so far, in that everyone in my family has died in some form of war, and I'm trying to show Humacht, the respect he deserves, so I don't do the same, and I will become a great warrior. So, yeah, Humacht is he can be a little scary because it's pretty merciless, but at the same time, he's a necessary agent of eternal change who can be used in courageous and noble ways to preserve the world. So
there's some very good. So again, fun story about Humacht. Ermal, the trickster god, found death, which is the form, which is a sword, in the underworld. He stole it from a demon, brought it to the overworld. This is in the time before time. Tricked Humacht into using it to kill Grandfather Mortal, who was the ancestor of every mortal being. So he was the first thing to ever die in the universe.
He would be. He would be.
He would be. And that was a tremendous burden to Humacht. And from there, kind of an important story, Orlanth, the chief god of the Orlanthi of the Fjortlings, was tricked into stealing the sword Death from Humacht, and he used it to kill the sun god Yelm, which created a time called the Great Darkness because Yelm went into the underworld.
Like, oh, shit.
He was the second thing to die, yeah. And Orlanth was like, I fucked up. But because of that, Humacht, who was Orlanth's brother, renounced his brothership with him. And was like, you basically stole from me. You're not supposed to steal from your kin. I'm out. And Orlanth was like, well, can you still be part of my ring and my homies, basically, which he agreed to. So part of becoming an initiative Orlanth and becoming that part of that cult is you actually are treated as if you're dead to your family.
Yes, and well, I mean,
yeah, doesn't matter.
It's easy to do
your
when your family's all
dead to you.
Yeah,
well,
doesn't matter for you, but
except for my uncle, who I do have a passion.
Yep.
That is love family, and my only remaining family member is my uncle, but I think that he'd understand.
Yes. Harvar. So we're using the NPC from Six Seasons Sartar. Harvar, son of Horvik, who is the town smith, and he's also a huge giant of a man, and ridiculously strong, and supposedly was trained by dwarves to forge things. And he'd be your uncle, and he would totally understand.
He's my mother's brother. Sure. I think. Yeah, because my father was a scribe, his mother was a shaman. So my father's side is the very diplomatic, learned side of things, and then my mother's side was the herders, the big fuckers. So
did you say the big fuckers or the pig fuckers?
The big fuckers.
One of those makes more sense than the other.
I couldn't. I mean, both could conceivably because they're herders. So I just needed to know.
Yeah, exactly. And Drew just said important to remember who mocked his death, but also honor. Honor, I have
Correct.
80 in honor right now.
Yep.
And it'll probably go up when I do personal stuff even more.
It was because of his honor that he renounced his kinship, actually.
Right. It's actually crazy. All of these cults have associated cults, except for Humocked. It just says none.
Nobody wants to deal with them. Yeah.
No one fucking deals with the Humocked folks. Yeah. So yeah, that's my character. I mean,
no parents.
I got nothing. Just a latchkey kid.
But also, I mean, darkness is my primary rune. It's anti-chaos. Humocked is,
anti-chaos, you say?
Well, I mean, I don't plan on being too chaotic. I just plan on being very
shifty.
Yeah, very. I don't know the word.
16-year-olds have their own sense of honor.
Right. Yes.
Really quick random question. Where can I find stats for the creature?
That's in a whole nother book.
Okay. All right. Gotcha. Perfect.
I'll just work with you separately. I mean, we're just going to use the bison statistics and you can have your bowl. That's all. Yeah.
Cool. So we know Sarah's cult, the healer.
Joy, baby.
Talk
about your cult.
I don't know all the lore that well, Christian.
Okay, I'll tell you some. Shalana Arroy is one of the oldest goddesses in Glorantha. Everybody loves her because she heals everyone. She's called the White Lady. Her cultists are called White Ladies. It doesn't matter your gender, you're a White Lady.
Drew actually said in chat, no matter the gender, all of her priestesses are referred to as sisters.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, or White Ladies. Yep, that's exactly correct. And
so I'm a nun.
You are a nun.
A nun.
You are a nun indeed, Sister Abigail. And she was actually one of the chief Lightbringer deities. I think that's important to talk about, probably talk about that myth. She was the one who set off to heal the world when it was broken by Orlanth and falling apart.
By some man.
Who,
she's like, a man
also
broke
set off
the world
separately to fix it. And then they kind of joined up later with a bunch of other people and fixed it.
I will help you unfuck this, but I'm really disappointed in you.
The thing with Orlanth is that he's also often the one who causes the problem, but he does fix it eventually.
He's like, it's a giant cycle of, oops, my bad.
Oops, I did it again.
Whoops. So she also has a son, Arwen. Arwen tried to heal the world and heal chaos, but failed and lost a lot of his magic. So there's still a subcult of Arwen, who is people who concentrate on healing people without magic. So I look at them, I think of them as like cool. Doctors,
physicians,
but also physicians, because they talk a lot about healing wounds that can't be healed. So I think of them also kind of like Bronze Age therapists, exactly.
But again, how does that make you feel?
Yeah,
I love
how does that make you feel?
It seems to me you need to restore your honor.
Yep. And they are all pacifists. So they do not fight. They don't hurt anything. They are vegetarians. And they also do not refuse healing to anything or anyone. So that includes like bad people too.
Chaos Bat needs a heal.
I think Chaos is actually
the Crimson Bat.
in a way, are all of them like I can fix him kind of sisters?
Sounds like it, right?
No.
Sounds like it.
That's different. That's a different kind of.
I can fix his leg.
Yeah,
no one can unfuck that situation.
They also don't charge for healing at the hospital. Unlike America, they do not charge for the healing. They just
this Neolithic society has more advanced social systems than America. Just note that. Write that down.
You're just expected to gift the temple if you are saved or healed by them. And to an appropriate gift. So if you're like a king or a chief and you're like, here's 5 copper clacks, bad things are going to happen to you. The other gods.
If you're a chicken farmer and you give them some fresh eggs,
they're going to be like, cool, that's acceptable. Exactly. So that's kind of all you need to know right now. We'll go on with more stuff. Yeah. No, also, as Drew said, this is the part I just forgot. No one will touch a white sister. Nobody. No civilized sentient species will harm you. It is a huge cultural.
I was going to say, won't touch as in like physically will not make contact or will not harm.
No, will not harm them. Will not harm them. Yeah.
Good. That will keep Sarah's going to be the only one who doesn't die.
Which also, that actually also goes into your character all has kind of like a cost of living. healers of and Shalana Roy, it's free.
Yep, people just take care of them.
People take care of you because you take care of everyone else.
Same here, I think, actually.
Yeah, well, usually warriors are usually put up by the chieftain in the hall.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, for totally different reasons.
Yeah.
Complete opposite reasons, in fact.
Oh my god, that's hysterical. What you just put in.
Oh no!
So as a resident Twitch mod, I see whenever Twitch has a panic attack. And in what Drew's explanation was of the phrase "you do not harm a white sister," Twitch saw the phrase "harm a white."
I was like, no.
And it panicked. And so I had to let Drew's message through manually.
Oh,
like, no, Twitch. We're talking like robes and magic.
Yeah. We're not talking about.
That's the first time you've ever been flagged, which is kind of amazing.
Yeah,
Wow.
Twitch panicked. It was like, is this okay?
I
Marv
almost killed
should
a
have gotten
puppy
flagged.
last time, and
I know.
Marv should have gotten flagged a few times.
It's Twitch's auto mod chat feature, which is why I'm also here keeping track of it. I had to let it know that Kent was a person and not a bot.
I just joined Twitch for the. I think I had an account before, but it would not find it for me, so I had to create a new one.
Yeah, and Twitch panics.
Sarah's got your back, Kent bot.
Yep.
If you
No one will know.
just create an account, it panics. Also because I had to
So you had to kill a bunch
I had
of
to
bots.
ban a bunch of bots, and then Kent showed up right after, and it was like, "Is this someone trying to evade the ban you just put on them?" And I'm like, "No, this is my human friend. He just has
butterfly
bad
is
timing."
Kent in the anime meme. Is this a bot? like
exactly-
Twitch.
This is why I'm here as a manual Twitch mod, because of this bullshit.
Yep.
So yeah, cool. All right, Sean, we did. Kent, go for it, man.
All right, so I'm actually
I'm leaving Jess for
looking-
last because she hasn't decided yet. I just want to be like,
Yep.
I have
Jess,
no
go.
idea.
I actually just asked Kent which one.
and that's why I didn't say anything into our little personal chat here. So I was originally thinking of going Found Child, but Christina had said that he's primarily a Paraxian deity.
Yep.
So I decided to kind of go for
Orlando.
Odalia, who is Odalia.
Yeah, I think I don't know. Sounds good.
Odalia, however you want to pronounce it, the bear god.
Odala sounds
Yeah,
good.
we'll roll with it.
Ooh, Bear guide.
Yeah, no, that makes tons of sense.
Odala.
Kent, you're
yeah.
doing it again. You're doing it again, Kent.
I told Jess before we started that I accidentally made Barry again.
You're like, I am a bear man, protector of children, starter
Yep.
of orphanages.
Yep.
Also, yours is like the nice.
Jess is the wait.
nice
Is Jess the
Oh,
burner of
like half a page.
orphanages?
How nice.
Odalia is a very very nice god. He is if I remember correctly, Christian, he is the son of Orlanth
Correct. Orlanth and the Wild Woman
and
of nature. Wild
Yep.
Woman of
I
nature.
sent that to Kent.
Dang.
uh
I sent that to Kent.
I see nothing.
yeah. And
We're talking about you.
I don't know why I thought that somebody would like this.
What? I demand
so
to know.
going with the bear god here, he is a hunting god, one of the hunting gods, one of like the three hunting gods, and they're all intertwined with each other.
Yes.
They all kind of they all participate in like what it says with their cult, like the cult association is they all participate in the great hunt together.
Yep.
Odala, Found Child, and Yinkin
Yes.
all do
The Shadow
that.
Cat, yeah.
The Shadow Cat god, and
Is there a
They-
reason Telmore's not on there?
Chaos
Curses.
is my guess. That would be my guess. Yeah. And
Ah.
also Telmore is really a god of wolves. He's not necessarily associated with
hunting.
hunting. Yeah, just like what wolves do.
Gotcha.
Which is hunt, but
Yeah.
also wolf
But-
stuff.
Yeah. But nobody really like joins the cult.
Yeah, they just
voluntarily.
are.
Yeah, they just-
Yeah.
Yeah, you just are.
So I was originally going to go with Found Child because it was my mother and grandmother's kind of teaching of being a hunter, and I ended up having the mentor who is a hunter of Odala, and probably am going to go into that cult myself.
Kent, from Drew in chat, it's usually pronounced Odila.
Odila. Okay.
Odila. Okay.
Odila. Okay.
Odila.
Thank you.
Yeah, there were a couple things I was looking at, and I was like, I don't know how to say this.
I am bad with pronunciation.
I still think we oodle-alley it.
I'm a fan of Oodle-alley.
That's just like the cult war cry, is just yodeling.
But yeah, I was looking into the special rune magic they get, and I just legit get to turn into a bear at some point. Like if I spend enough rune magic points or whatnot, like I eventually just get to turn into a bear.
Oh, kindred spirit. It's happening again, Jess. You better bring your A game.
Oh, rude.
The last time I played a wolf boy, Kent stole me from Jess.
That was very different.
But not that different. It was different, but not that different.
This time I am not playing the pacifist healer.
And Christian, to answer your question, no, my orphan burning character, that was a different game from Barry White. Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
If you actually burned like another character's orphanage down in game.
Oh no, if it was Barry.
It was Ken's character, it just wasn't Barry. It was Christian's orphanage.
It was out of love.
It was his Warforged protector in passive.
It was out of love.
It was out of love. No children were hurt.
Just conflates love and obsession as if they were synonyms.
They are the same. They are the same. In a fantasy world.
So Jess, you're on the spot. What are you doing?
Yeah, I have no idea. I am
nope, gotta pick.
I have to pick right now. I am between.
No, I'm just kidding you. You don't have to pick right now. You don't.
So if you pick Orlanth, you could be a Vigna.
Yeah, Vingans are awesome.
I'm between Orlanth and Stormbull. I'm not entirely sure yet.
Stormbull does look cool though.
Right? It looks really cool.
Pretty cool.
What is?
But there's that little picture in that book that has that story about that Vigna that was a smart ass with that severed head, and it was awesome.
Amber just wants anything that includes beheading assholes.
What is the vibe for both of them, for Orlanth and Stormbull? I kind of like the stories that you were telling me about Orlanth.
So the Vigna, the vibe is Lagatha from Vikings.
Yeah,
that's a vibe.
Maybe
the vibe is Lagatha.
That I have not watched. But yes.
Okay, but I showed you some scenes.
Okay, but I'm choosing between Orlanth and Stormbull.
So Vinga is basically
Orlanth.
It's an aspect of.
Yeah, it's an aspect. It could either be Orlanth's daughter or female aspect of Orlanth, one way or another. My favorite story of Vinga, and this is kind of where the cult comes from, is Orlanth and his brothers are fixing to go off raiding. And they just left, and Vinga was like, I want to come with you. I can kick some ass. And they were like, no, you can't. Shut up. You're just a girl. And so they left, and she stayed. And while she stayed, like, bad people attacked the holding while the men were away, and she was the one who fought it off. And then once again, Orlanth came back and was like, oh shit, I was wrong, which is a recurring theme. And
God, but you know what? We love
she was
to
accepted
hear...
as a warrior.
At least he says, oh shit, I was wrong.
Yeah, we love to hear men admitting they're wrong.
Yeah. He's often wrong and admits it and fixes it. So
you know
good
what?
For him.
Good for him.
Yep.
Good for him.
Good for him.
Good for him.
Good for him. Where did that come from, Sarah? What is that accent?
I don't know. I'm Italian somewhere.
What was I just? I could tell you something off stream that I was thinking of, and I was cracking up laughing because I was thinking it in an Italian accent. But
okay.
Yeah, so that's Vinga. Vingans, they're pretty cool because a lot of the stories have them like running and jumping around and being like doing like a lot of like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon stuff. They like run up trees and like fucking chuck javelins at people and do shit like that. Stormbull, I told you a lot of stuff about. He's kind of like they're berserkers, they're warriors. They hate chaos. They're all about like charging headfirst into chaos. Stormbull actually squashed the devil like flat on with a huge square chunk of sacred metal in the middle of the desert in Prax. which is still there, and you can just look out and be like, oh, hey, there's the block where the devil was killed. So Stormbowl's pretty cool. So it really comes down to like what sort of warrior you want to have. If you want to have like a smarter one and has like kind of like runny, jumpy, flyy powers, that would be Vinga. If you want to just be like kind of smash mouth, hulking out on stuff, that would be Stormbolt.
If we're gonna use our own references, if Aoife was a little smarter, she would have been follower of Vinga 100%.
What if I want to do Orlanth and not Vinga?
Yeah, no, Orlanth would be who you choose, right?
You could.
Why would you?
So you could do what I think. Help me understand the question. I think again, why would you choose?
She doesn't want to go into the subcult of Vinga. Just stay in the prime.
No, I'm just wondering what my options are.
So okay, so that's I understand now. So within the world of Orlanth, Orlanth is for men.
Gotcha.
So you would Vingans are actually a recognized like kind of almost gender among the Hortlings, which is like a man and a woman's body.
Okay.
And so that's like they tend to go into that cult.
It seems Stormbolt to me. Like what you were talking about earlier too, about just being like you're small but you're gonna wreck shit.
Rage.
You know, come at me, bro.
No,
like,
Vingans can be that way too.
Vingans are kind of like that too, though.
Yeah,
but
Drew Drew, I'm going to just read this so Drew, so for everybody can know. But Drew, stop it in
the gender stuff is really cool.
Yeah, the gender thing. Orlanthi recognized 6 genders, so it's man in the shape of man, man in the shape of woman, woman in the shape of women, women in the shape of man. People keep chatting, so I have to go back up.
2-gendered and no gendered.
2-gendered and no gendered. Yep. And then the gods associated with are Orlanth, Nandan, Ernalda, Vingar, Hela, and Ermal the trickster. So
the trickster god with no gender, I respect it.
Yep.
It's
just like in Thirsty Sword Lesbians, the trickster.
Yep.
With the fucking the
that agender dreamboat.
They are such a dreamboat though.
Yep.
All right. Well, I mean, I'll still decide. I probably haven't settled yet, but I'll probably decide by our next stream. Yeah.
We'll decide like next Friday.
Correct.
I mean, honestly, you're not entering the cult right away, so you can feel it out as you play for a bit.
You absolutely can decide later on. Yeah.
That makes sense for like a 16-year-old too.
Yeah.
Like, what do you want to do? Like,
Honestly,
you don't know
play it
yet.
up.
You want to experience more of the world first.
Yeah, make it part of your role play for this, right? Like you're being torn between two.
That would actually be really cool if you did that.
Like, I don't know if I'm Bingen or if being called to Stormbowl.
Yeah. No, I like that too. I like that too. See how it comes out to play.
Quest.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how ragey she is. That might determine. That's the thing that's like calling to me. It's like how much of a berserker is she versus not.
I can't wait
So
for
I
you to
don't
try
know.
to go into like a rage fit, and then for Kent to just pick you up and hold you.
Jess?
Oh, bear hug.
No. Jess, we will rage together. We will run and wreck them.
And then Rainey piles on and tries to pry you out of Kent's bear hug.
Yes.
And then Sarah's over here just like
No. And then between me and Kent, we rip off her limbs. And then Sarah's got to put it back on. And she's like, guys,
her limbs only have like 4 hit points. They're the first thing to go.
This right here is our backstory of being 12 years old before we were 16.
What happened when we were
Actual
11?
events based on true story.
God damn it. I didn't want to make a mother figure, but here we are.
Here we are.
We're in desperate need of an adult, Sarah, and that is you, the white lady.
At least you have help this time. Kent is
Here's your parent, the baby.
Your parents.
So are we done then, Christian? Oh,
There's nothing else because you have
Hey,
personal
I'm born.
related. You have personal. Hold on a minute. Let me get to it.
What's people's
Personal
names?
Skill bonuses.
Oh,
let me just address. Yeah, we'll do that. Let me just address the personal skill bonuses quickly.
Name and description.
You can add 25% to any 4 skills and 10% to 5 more skills. Note those down. We'll add them as we go. Don't add them yet.
Okay.
That's just going to be more of your development over the year.
Okay.
all right. So just like star those.
Yeah, just make a note somewhere in your
any skills whatsoever.
anything you want.
so 25% to 4 skills and 10% to 5 skills.
Mhm. Yep.
Up to
Amber over here going 25%. Prepare corpse.
And
Prepare corpse. I'm getting some seasonings in here. We're using some garlic. We're using some cumin.
and for
I've got some oregano.
and for,
Human for the human.
and for this one,
I
we
will
can't go
eat again.
above 100% yet.
You can go
You can,
above 100%. Yeah,
with the
Because you get
personal
penalties,
skill.
right?
With
Time
the
out, you're
no, I'm
approaching
sorry. I'm sorry.
100% on any
No
of these?
skill can be raised above 100% with that step. So you can't go above 100. You go above 100 in play. You can go above 100 with your skills.
Oh, you're just planning where you're going to put them when you put them somewhere? Wait, why are we doing this?
At the moment, my highest is 55. You're
We're
going to get to over
We're
100?
marking where they go, and we're going to be adding them in game.
Okay,
You
that's what I thought.
make that decision yet. You can
I'm
just
not
be
making
like,
that
these are-
decision yet.
No,
I'll do it later.
I meant just mark off
Have an
that you
idea.
have them. That you have them. You can
Oh.
just add them as you go, because you might find
Gotcha.
as you play, like, oh, I like this skill, I don't use that one, and have
I
that
see.
flexibility. But you guys are going to be learning a lot of stuff as you become adults, and this is where we're gonna show that.
I see. Can the 25 and 10% be in the same thing, or no?
No, 25 to any 4 skills and 10 to 5 more skills.
Oh, it says more. That's
Mhm.
good job. I can't read.
That's okay. Spoken languages.
I'm about to put stuff in read.
Kid of a scribe makes sense.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
My parents probably left
Word
had
good.
books, you know.
And
Word
then the rest
better.
of the stuff you can do your scars, name, gender, year and age born. They have a pretty cool thing about determining when you were born and your birthday and stuff like that. I actually like that.
So I was actually looking at the age and born, because I also like doing that. I like figuring out like when my character was born, and I could not find where like the season for your rune and power, like the week for your power affinity.
So every season has an affiliated element. So what is your highest rune?
Mine is air.
So you would be born in storm season. So you're a spring baby.
And your highest is air?
Yep.
You're so calm though.
And what is your highest power rune?
Harmony.
So that's harmony week. Every form rune just has its own week. So it'll be storm season, harmony week, and then you can just roll for the day as you choose.
Can we all do that? Where is this reference?
Yeah. What's
page 81?
What's Earth?
Earth season is fall.
Hey, same seas.
And
I assume Beast Week is a week, yes?
Yes.
And I'm going to definitely be born on a wild day.
Yeah, you just should be. You should just actually choose that. Don't even roll.
Yeah.
Is there a spot to put this on your sheet, or is it just for funsies?
Looks like funsies.
Oh,
I think it's just funsies.
Oh no, birth year. No, there's birth year, but
Yeah,
you can try
birth
to
year.
squeeze it all in on there.
Hold on.
Just make yourself a shortened note that you won't understand one day later. When I was looking at, I witnessed the thing. That's what I wrote down. The thing, and I wrote the thing real big.
It's the thing about the stuff.
The thing.
So where's the seasons? Because mine is darkness. Where is that?
Dark season is winter.
Right? Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah. Okay.
You were born on the solstice, darker than dark.
The solstice is actually holy. Is the sacred time. So there's 2 weeks out of every year that's just sacred time. That would be like that's their biggest festival of the year. They have tons of religious stuff. Yep. Sacred time. How you doing, Jess?
Yeah, I don't see where this is either, but that's okay.
Oh, way to put it on your sheet.
No, I don't see it in the book either.
Page 81 on the book.
But
no, that doesn't have the seasons.
It doesn't have
No,
the
it doesn't.
seasons.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't have the seasons. I just know that, so I'm just telling you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's your highest rune?
It's the same as Kent's. It's air. But
So you're a spring baby, storm season.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what year were we born?
1604.
1604. Yeah. 1604.
6 wild day Saturday night.
Oh, that's wild.
We
So I was born,
party.
this is messed up, dude. I was born on a freeze day in the death week of winter.
Nice. Nice.
You were made for the god of death.
It's like I was watching the Shannara Chronicles. By the way, I don't know if you like it out there, but I thought it was terrible. But like
The show
I was
is
like
not
the
good.
guy, yeah, the show like terrible, right? It's like, not good. And then like I heard the
On
bad guy's
TV,
name
yeah.
was Darkin, and I was like, well, who could have thought he would have turned into a villain? His parents named him Darkin.
That's like Scar from The Lion King.
Yeah. Like Darth Vader. You're like, come on, guys.
Talk about a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Okay, Vader's not his actual, but that's different.
Darkin.
Well, but I'm saying, I mean,
Oh well, yeah.
Darkin.
Ugh.
Yeah, no, not very well done. I have the books and I will eventually read them, probably, but the show did not exactly make me excited to dive into.
Rough.
Hey,
Max,
on
thank you for
TV.
the Prime, darling. Appreciate
Thank you,
it.
thank you. All right, names. We got names. You got names.
We got names.
You got
What do we
name.
got?
Names.
I guess, are we going in order of these things again?
Figure it out.
Our
I
order's
trust you
fucked
to
every
be-
time.
My character's name is going to be Venarin, and just call me Ven.
My character is Orisa, Aurisa. Although kind of behind her back referred to as Orisa the Pale.
The
Because-
Pale.
I will
Because
never not picture Orisa from Overwatch. You are just a big ol' minotaur.
that's a fucking honor. I love Orisa. She's
Yeah.
adorable. But yeah, because while the rest of her family is pretty like tan and healthy, then there's sickly looking Orisa.
You are Dulcinea Septimus. When you finally read Lock Tomb, you will understand.
I
You will understand.
guess so. Yeah, that's fair. that's accurate.
Very accurate. But that was one of my favorite characters in that book. So it
Yeah.
still
Dulcie
is,
was
damn it.
awesome.
Yeah, still is. Even knowing what I know.
Still is.
Actually, even more knowing what I know.
Troy in chat says his character's name is, I'm gonna butcher it, Troy. It's Kimreese. Kymrese.
I think it's Kim Reese. That's what
Reese?
I.
Okay.
Yeah,
Kim
I
Reese.
think so. But
There's Troy.
that's Troy. Kent, what do you got?
I am Descara, Descara.
Cool.
I am Ruin.
Jess is-
Everyone calls me Rue.
I'm just watching Jess panic.
Jess, do you have a
She's
name?
like,
Ruin.
R-U-E-N. And then R-U-E.
Ruin.
Ruen?
And Rue
Rue.
for short.
We always make it our Zoom names, so I'm not worrying about it right now.
Yep.
I was thinking that
I
was-
knew a Rue in college. She was cool as it.
Oh.
So shout out Rue. if you ever-
My character's name is Bryn.
What is it?
Yep. Bryn. Bryn.
There we go. I think we got everything then. I mean, you can think up physical descriptions for the next time we play. We'll get into that.
Enter the
guys-
scene.
You guys
in
know what I
style.
look like.
I think we're done. What else?
Huge.
Huge
Big.
goth boy. Doyle Von Frankenstein.
Huge goth boy. Huge hair in over eye.
Yeah, emo hair for sure.
Yes.
No,
Yeah.
not committing to that for canon. Not doing it.
Real
For
short
my
jarhead
ball.
haircut.
Oh no, I think he's got long hair. I think he's got.
A huge braid.
Deathlock right down the front.
Is it too much if I name my character Brim and then name my bull Fire? Brimfire.
Yeah.
to you. I can't hear you. What'd you say?
No, it's okay. I'm just thinking. I
I'm
need a
just
name for my
glaring
bull.
at Jess.
I need a name for
This
my
is
bull.
the girl who named
Zombie.
her buffalo last time, Brocco Lee Bison. She
I
had
mean,
a dog named Tato,
I
Oh.
can't
Potato.
talk.
a coyote named Parsnip. She just named all of her animals after vegetables after the first non-vegetable animal was brutally murdered.
I had a moosepotamus named Chumby. I can't talk.
Chumby.
Love Chumby.
We love
And Jess
Chumby.
kept-
Chubby is OG.
Back.
Jess also kept abandoning her animal companion. She was like, "I'll get a new one. He doesn't have to come with
Discarding
me."
them.
No, okay,
Sometimes in
okay,
environments
okay.
hostile to
Hold
their
on.
own
No, no,
to
no,
their
no.
life.
I would make an animal companion friend, and then why would I steal them from their home and bring them with me? Okay, they stayed where they.
You
Gross,
took a
yes,
jaguar
Joe.
from
I like
a
that.
jungle continent, moved him 3,000 miles, and then abandoned him in Sharn.
Have a jaguar?
Yes.
remember that one. I've erased that one.
Well, before this turns into the roast of Jess,
The,
Aw.
it always
I always got
roasts.
your back, Jess. Don't worry.
Thanks, guys.
Is-
Thanks, guys. My cult members. Thank you.
Wow, don't. Yeah, you better get on the roast train, or you're gonna end up in a bad place, guys.
thank you.
Wait, what
Train?
No.
Roast train.
Choo-choo.
Roast train.
Just
Very
happened.
different.
There
Very
is time
specific.
to outro, and we're ruining it.
We are.
And the outro is
Yeah.
choo choo.
God.
Choo choo, motherfucker.
Thank you, everyone, for watching this week's episode of DMs After Dark.
Yeah, the stage is set. 2 weeks from now, we will actually start playing. And
Weeks from
much
now,
more
we'll be teenage dirtbags. Watch
serious, I promise. Much more serious. Yeah. Cool. I'm excited.
No, Christian, don't make a promise you can't keep.
Yeah.
It's this stream.
Serious. I'm always serious and never.
I'm serious
ever.
about roleplay.
Yeah.
Until the dick jokes come out.
Troy will also be here, so we can't promise for everyone.
We can't promise for a single one of us. And we know this. But that's okay because that's our shit.
Oh, Fishblade Tuesday. Be there or be square, bitches.
Fishblade! So is this going to be streamed? Correct me if I'm wrong, Amber?
Yep.
Yeah, we
Okay,
can do
so
it.
we have an
We're gonna fucking stream a game that doesn't exist, was created entirely communally by jokes. And as the ultimate one up on this joke, we're gonna play this game that's not real, that is made by jokes.
Yeah, so
Themselves are a joke.
there will be
Yeah.
a bonus stream this Tuesday at 7 p.m.ish EST where we play Fishblade. I don't know how it's gonna work.
It's closer to
Might be
6.
earlier.
6?
Yeah.
6?
Yeah, we're going to be earlier.
Keep an eye on our social media. Hey, if you want to know when we're playing Fishblade, like I want to know when we're playing Fishblade, keep an eye on all of our social medias under
Someone
DMs
let me
After
know when we're
Dark.
playing Fishblade.
You can also listen to audio versions of this show, our podcast, Rainy's solo series, and various other chaos baby things on the podcast feed. Everything is under DMs After Dark. Search that on any of your podcast apps. You will find all of our stuff. We also have a YouTube channel where we upload all of our VODs of our Twitch streams. So if you missed an episode and don't want to just listen to the audio and you want to see our beautiful faces as I cry laugh, and we all make stupid faces at each other, flip each other off, all of that, that is all on our YouTube. You can also email us at dmsafterdark@gmail.com. Questions, comments, complaints. I am being told that you can ask your Alexa to play DMs After Dark and she'll do it. So if you really want
Alexa knows who we are.
The funniest part was I checked it after I like added it our feed to the thing, and it just goes playing with myself on the internet. And I was like, ooh, I made a decision that I can never back down from.
You committed to
Committed.
a joke, Grady. So if you want to fuck with your friend's Alexa, just tell him to start playing us and see what happens.
Alexa, playing with myself on the internet. And then the most family-friendly offering that we have at DMs After
Yeah,
Dark will begin.
ironically,
Yeah.
Wholesome, surprisingly.
as it goes. Thank you again, everyone, for watching. Drew and other folks who have come Drew, thank you for being here and being awesome. Other folks who've come here for the first time, hope you enjoyed and hope you stay for more shenanigans in Glorantha as we continue. Have a good night, everyone. And until next time, don't skip Fist Day. Good night.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
I regretted it as soon as I said it.
You
beautiful.
should
I love
have.
it.
That was awful.
Perfect.
You hang
Glory,
out with me too
glory.
much. Good night. Glory, hole. Good night.
Oh no.